live, and I just have to go across the board and double check on all of our platforms. How you guys doing? Welcome to SandCity Sports. We have a very exciting episode. We got a special guest in the building. We're going to add a lot to the broadcast. Okay. We are good on Twitter. I do not respect X. It's Twitter. The IG is lined up. IG is good. Let's check Twitch. Hold on. Okay. Which is good. Facebook is also good. That's a plus. Facebook is good. What's going on? Twitch. Twitch, I just needed to reboot. And come back to Twitch. Twitch is good. Excellent. And the big kahuna. The big kahuna is YouTube. YouTube looks good. And I think we're ready to go. YouTube. Yes, indeed, we are live across the board. So welcome, folks, to SandCity Sports. As I said, very fortunate. We have a special guest in the building. One, Mr. Ryan Rodriguez. Fortunate to work with you in the great city of New Bedford. Played at a high level. Ryan, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm great, man. I haven't seen you since school, so it's good to catch back up.
Yes,
yeah.
We got a chance to work together at Winslow Elementary, Betsy Winslow Elementary, and that was tremendous. Getting the chance to work my second year in the district, and then getting the chance to work at the elementary level. That was a good experience, and because we had cross paths before on the grassroots circuit. And I didn't really, once we got a chance to talk, I was like, and I remember you from back when. So
elementary school. There's not many men that work in elementary school, so it's great to have someone to talk to about sports there.
Exactly. Need more guys at the elementary level, and I thought we both brought something distinctive to the table. Mine says you don't have bad kids. You don't have bad kids in elementary school. My brother might jump on, so this is fortuitous. He sees what's going on, so my brother might jump on with us as well. So we're gonna have an action-packed episode. Let me go ahead and get the link, and I'll shoot that over.
Yeah, the more the merrier.
Yeah, I'll shoot that over to him. He sees you're in the building, and you guys are about the same age, coming up through the ranks.
Yep.
So that was a beautiful thing. So
we played against each other. We played against each other at Barnstable, correct?
Correct. You're 06, right?
Yeah.
Right. And had the marquee matchup against Newton North at Taunton High School.
Yep.
I was at that game.
Crazy game. Yeah.
Wild game. So let me just.
The winner of that one was probably going to win the state championship. They ended up winning the state championship, but yeah, it was tough.
Was going to win the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
So let me just get this. Let my bro know. He saw you and he sent the link.
That's funny.
So I'm going to send this right over to him, and we'll get rocking and rolling. Ryan, we do have an intro for SandCity Sports. We got an intro. It's taken some time to get this coordinated, but we got an intro, so you can hang tight, or you can chime in, say your piece. But I have you'll see in a second. You'll see in a second.
All right.
But we got to start the show off right. We got to start the show off right.
Well, I like it.
Yes, indeed. To the business. Welcome to SandCity Sports. I'm your host. We're here. Our studios on your
What is that? Is that the cape?
That is not the cape, Ryan.
Oh. I was saying that looks nice. I'm like, I need to go to the beach at the Cape if that's the case.
Exactly. That is just when I was putting that together, I just found like a destination beach and put that.
Oh, I got you.
I can't say that that's Coast Guard Beach or whatnot.
It was beautiful,
my little intro. For the intro,
I like it.
We do run that twice, and so I'm gonna run that back one more time. We do the conclusion once. We do the intro twice. Let's see. Okay. SandCity.
Very nice.
Yes, I know. As I said, very special. Out there. Okay. No, we're not gonna do it again.
Oh, there it goes again.
We're not gonna do it again. That's enough 2 times. Okay, so Ryan, welcome, and we're gonna jump right in. We're gonna start with the elephant in the room, and that is the Boston Celtics and the mega trade that they made, and then the dominoes that have fallen subsequently after that. That's where we're gonna begin the conversation, and then it's just gonna kind of go from there. We got some art that we're gonna put up in a second, but you can go ahead. What do you feel? What are your thoughts? And we'll get this art up here on the screen about. I don't want to talk about. You can go where you need to go. How do you feel, Ryan, about the new look Celtics?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be pretty direct about it. I mean, I'm not going to go on a tangent here, but yeah, I was fine with it, honestly. Like, because I mean, there's a pretty big picture to, I think, what Brad sees. Like, Brad's never, I mean, I trust him more like in the long lines of like I trusted Bill Belichick and the Patriots back in the day. I mean, he's going to make the best decision for the team. I mean, and people don't understand too, you don't always have to win the trade. Like, sometimes it's addition by subtraction. I feel like Jaylen Brown, great player. I think he's like, like the prototypical stat stuffer type of guy. You know what I mean? Like, his numbers look good, but a lot of it's like empty calories type stuff. I think, he doesn't make people around him as that better than, like Tatum does. I think teams really have to game plan for Tatum. And I think Brown, he's kind of just like a make or miss type of guy. He's not really drawing double teams and finding other guys. And for the guy we got back, I mean, George, he's old, whatever, crappy contract, but I mean, he'll fit well in Missoula's system. And from what I've heard from around and just reading and talking to people, like, Brown wasn't the easiest guy to deal with. And they pretty much had to choose, I think, either Tatum or Brown, and they chose Tatum. And I'm fine with it. I trust Brad, and I think he's going to make the best decisions for the Celtics. I mean, he hasn't steered them wrong so far. So that's my thoughts on it.
No doubt. We got another. We got another participant in the show. My bro. Let me see here. You're okay. I got you, bro. You work with the mute and unmute because you're on dad duty. So you work with the mute and unmute yourself. But we're thrilled to see you, bro, live from Arizona. Right, my bro is out in Scottsdale right now in the sunshine.
Good for him, man.
So he's out in Scottsdale, bro. You jump in when you need to. You can unmute yourself. Can you unmute yourself?
What is good? What is good? What is good?
What's up, bro?
I love you so much.
What is good, y'all?
You got 2 guys. That's a 06, 07 in the building.
I mean, realistically, I'm class of 06, so we could just leave it at that.
I'm class of 06 too.
Yeah. We play ball together.
Yeah, I'm class of 06 too.
Indeed.
I was talking the other day. We played you guys in summer league. I remember we played you guys in like the championship in summer league at Taunton High School.
Yep. And then
like,
I think
I was talking about that with somebody the other day.
I think we play. What were those? The games that we play in Westfield. Oh, I'm trying to think of.
Oh, yeah. The what's the hell is it called? The Bay State games.
Yes, there it is. Yes, I play with you and
Yeah,
your
the
brother.
Bay State games. Those are fun, man. Those are fun. I
Yeah,
love the
those
Bay
were
State games. Those are fun.
yes,
Those are
yes,
fun.
yes.
Because you could be like a freshman in college and play for them too.
Yep.
So it was fun. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. We definitely played you guys. Yeah. They had like a Cape team. They had like a Southeastern Mass team. They had a Boston City League team. Yeah, it was cool.
Indeed,
So,
indeed.
so I,
No, sorry, go ahead,
I
bro.
heard your take.
Go ahead.
I heard your take on the Celtics,
Yeah.
and it's almost like they had to choose,
Yeah.
and you almost saw, and it's unfortunate that we all saw the discourse once the streaming started, because
Exactly.
in like in the 90s or any earlier generations, they don't have players giving us in real time their feelings at all times.
No, for
and
sure.
and at sometimes, you know, your feelings could be taken as a slight to somebody else, and that's where, I see that it had to be done. I mean, money wise, it had to be done.
Yeah.
And I mean, at the end of the day, it really just came down to, like you said, who we going to choose, because we can't move forward with both of them.
No, it was untenable pretty much at that point. Like it's like, I mean, that's the good part and the bad part about social media and the players having, the empowerment and all that stuff, being able to speak their mind. But there's also, like you said, a bad side to it, because that would have never happened in the 90s. You're right.
Never, because we wouldn't know, that type
Yeah.
of discourse. That's mostly in house, not
Yeah.
public opinion.
And it had to have been pretty bad for them to get rid of him too. Like, I mean, I can't see it just being a little. It had to have been pretty bad. Like just for what they got back for it too. You know what I mean? So they know a lot more than we do. You know?
Well, I mean, this is when you hear it, but when you hear it from a fan, and you're like, wait a minute, he's won he's won finals, and he's won finals MVP, and he's sitting here saying this was his favorite year ever,
Yeah, exactly.
in basketball. And I'm like, yo, from a basketball player's standpoint, bro, you actually hit the mountaintop, and you got a ring, but this is your favorite year. Like, I don't make. I mean, you could feel that 1,000%.
Oh, that was a subliminal shot at Tatum, 100% sure.
Thank
Yeah.
you. That was a subliminal shot. At least Tatum's gonna take it that way. Tatum's in the gym trying to get better.
I would take it that way. Anyone would take it that way. Like, what do you
Thank
mean it's your
you.
favorite year? We won the championship. That wasn't your favorite year? Like,
Yeah, we won a chip. That wasn't your favorite. Like, you were saying, that's not your favorite year. Oh, one second.
yeah.
We're good, guys. Keep the conversation going. You guys are, are bringing that good marinara. We're working out the technical difficulties. We got people that's following on YouTube. So my man Chris, who's on YouTube, he says they were second in the East without Tatum. That's what my man Chris is saying.
Yeah, but you don't play to be the best team in the regular season. Like, what's happened the last two playoffs
We
with.
appreciate that. Keep it coming. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I get the point. I get the point, but I think, like, you want to win in the playoffs. You don't want to be the best regular season team. You know.
Understood. Bro, you have anything on that or?
So, I mean, when we're looking, if we look at the past 2 to 3 years, East versus West. I mean, now, obviously, I'd say the East he's taken some big steps forward, but those top 2, 3, 4 seeds in the East, versus the dogfight in the West that goes all the way down from eight and up. I don't think the East has 8 and up.
Appreciate that, Chris. Go ahead.
I mean, when you look at the 8 seed teams in the East, they're pretty lackluster right now, and they've been almost in that 8th seed for 4 or 5 years.
Okay, now I have to ask you guys. Celtics finished second in the East last year with the team as constituted. We had an injured Eastern Conference. This is something for me. We have teams, Indiana, Halliburton's
Yep.
coming back.
Yep.
Miami, you're adding Giannis into the mix. Detroit, you bring in John Collins now to add that additional scoring. Second year with Cleveland. I'm interested in your thoughts. I have a different view, but you guys are bringing the good marinara, so I'm going to let y'all keep cooking with this new team with less tension in the locker room, more fluidity, more guys. Just, you know what I mean? Because, listen, I love Jaylen Brown. I'm 10 toes down on Jaylen Brown. He can be an angry intellectual, okay? Those two things, that's my man, but sometimes his energy can be kind of stern and distant for all the good that he does. I'm just keeping it 100. I'm 10 toes down. Jaylen Brown, News Foundation, do not get it twisted. Now you bring in Paul George. He's not really, you know what I mean? He's going to be kind of just on the side. He's not going to, where is this team, do you feel, in a revitalized Eastern Conference, but they got more continuity, you know what I mean? We got more handshakes, more hugs. How do you see them
Yeah.
in the Eastern Conference?
Well, I think the days of the super teams are kind of gone though, right? So like you see how the Knicks, they have like 8, 9 deep guys that can all play. The Pacers made it to the Eastern Finals last year. They got 9 guys that can all play. OKC won it a couple years ago. They got 8, 9 guys that can all play, right? So I think that's what Brad's trying to do. He's trying to develop depth. And I think that's what you need to win the championship nowadays, because these guys are, you know, a guy might sit out in the Eastern Conference Finals because he has a sprained ankle when normally they might play through it. So you got to have depth. Like there's a lot of injuries, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. So you need to have depth. So I think that's what Brad's trying to do. You know?
I would say agree. He's definitely trying to build out depth. I mean, you don't win a chip now without a good bench. This is the years of the 3 Monstars and you win a championship. I think that's over. You know?
I agree.
I think you also are starting to see a lot more of championship DNA, which we saw in those years where you saw the three-peat with the Lakers in terms of not just synchrony in the teams, and two, you have to be in sync to win it all. You can't just, I would say, pick a team up like maybe they did in Miami and win a chip right now. I think teams are
just quick from the chat.
too deep.
Quick from the chat, bro, not to cut you off. And that in Game 7 against Philly, Brown played the hardest. I feel that he was guarding Embiid down the stretch when they made their move to keep it close, hyperextending his knee, playing through some pain. I don't understand the hate for Brown. I don't sense that you guys feel some type of a way about Jaylen Brown.
No one's hating. No one's saying that he's not a good player or a great player for that matter. Like I said, I just think you have to choose Brown or Tatum, and I would choose Tatum 10 out of 10 times. And Brown, I mean, he had a decent Game 7. He missed some big shots in that game as well. I mean, I feel like that could have, but I mean, that's. I mean, he did win the MVP. I get it, and people love him. But I mean, I just think he's a stat stuffer in the regular season. I think that hides a lot of his weaknesses. The guy can't dribble. Like he can't. Like it's like he still can't dribble. So it's like I don't know, man. I'm not hating on him, but I'm a Tatum guy over Brown, personally.
Okay, bro. Bro, just real quick. That's you do bring up a point about the playmaking and the ball handling. At times, he's not as fluid a playmaker. I do see that him just being a straight up scorer. And you played with one of the best playmakers that we've seen here in the Commonwealth, and the one Mr. Brian Rudolph.
Yeah.
On your teams, a dynamic point guard. Go get a bucket. Go get an assist. So I do take that. At times he pressed, and that caused turnovers. Go ahead, bro.
I mean, love the Brown Tatum connection. I felt like we had the best 2 duo in the league. But I mean, like you said, when you break down the business of basketball, which is the NBA, which is exactly what we're talking about, there's no way that they have 2 guys in the starting lineup making 600 mil. It's just not. It's not going. I mean,
and that are similar positions. They're similar positions too,
and very similar positions. So it's like, we did get a chip, yes. I had shock value when the trade happened, and I was like, But I knew it was coming because I felt like there's no way they start the season with him on the squad. Like I just didn't. I felt the discourse a long time ago, and this was
Yeah.
during the season, and it was because I felt like, okay, Jalen's out here, because once he started making his own campaign for MVP, I was like, yo, he's really out here trying to win MVP this year, balling, which he should be. That obviously he should be trying to win MVP always, but he's making a campaign for this is his favorite. I'm going to win MVP year. Tatum is on the way back. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Tatum is going to come back. Tatum, like, that was the big story of Tatum. They were trying to tank the year to get Tatum back. But, I mean, obviously, Jaylen Brown's too good of a player to be on a tanking team. Like, that's just – and he's in the East. Ultimately, we still had a good team. Did we have a great team? No. We had a good team.
And they also got the benefit of playing a lot of bad teams in the East. Like, I mean, you're playing Brooklyn 4 times. You're playing there's a lot of bad teams in the East this year. The Wizards, you play the Wizards 4 times. Like, it's like, I don't know, man. Your record looks a little bit better than what your talent is in the regular season,
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they were feasting on bad teams. Again, that's quite a segue because the Wizards have a young man from the city of Brockton, the city of champions, that's coming through and looking to revitalize that organization. The Chicago Bulls have a young man coming from Tobacco Road in North Carolina, and Caleb Wilson, who broke the rookie record in Summer League, that's coming to revitalize.
Yeah, he looked really good.
That lineup.
Yeah, he looked good.
Caleb.
The point about
Caleb's the real deal, man.
So they were feasting on bad teams last year in the injured Eastern Conference. Let me just come back to this original point. How do you guys feel this lineup is now? Because you talked about the division. They're going to have to play the Knicks. They're going to have to play the 76ers. And they're going to have to play a Brooklyn Nets team that has a young bull and Mikael Brown and Aaron, Michael Porter Jr. out there getting buckets. Like Brooklyn is trying to.
I know you're not talking about the Nets in any type of winning game fashion. The Nets are playing for the top 3 pick. So
yeah, I think the Celtics will be middle of the road. Like, I think they'll be like a 5 seed, 6 seed. I think, and I don't know if Brad's done making moves either yet. But what I want to say before too was the only mistake he made when he went over after Giannis. He should have went all in and just got him. Like, he was like, nope, I don't want to give up Hugo. I don't want to give up this guy. I mean, I think
you got to give it up.
You put all your chips in, you got to go for it. Like he did. Yeah. It was kind of a half measure, and then it was done by then, because then Brown's like, oh, you're trying to trade me? It was over then,
Yep.
And as we learned from Mike and Breaking Bad, shout out to Breaking Bad. We can't have half measures.
No,
we can't have half measures, and that's, you know what I mean. Maybe you can you speak on, because I feel some type of a way, and this is certainly, I don't think anybody here has any animus towards JB. Appreciate what he brought to the city, all the things that he did off of the court. I'm a 10 toes down JB guy. You guys a little bit, you make some good critiques about his game and how he can improve his game. But my point is, I felt like he got smacked in the face with the baby powder in terms of how they put him out there in the Giannis trade. And to your point, Ryan, if you're gonna hit a man in the face with baby powder, you know what I mean? You got
to go all the way.
But this is what you guys got to think of.
Slap him. You done hit him like Charlie Murphy in the. Okay,
this is the social media aspect. All right, this is the social media aspect, because that's pure emotion. My man is making $600 million to play basketball. He hears his name in a trade, bet. I'm actually working out, getting ready for next year, because wherever I go, I'm still making $60 million.
Yeah.
Like this comes with, like, I strongly feel this way. Streamers right now, athletes want to be streamers.
Or have a podcast.
It's the shift is really changing to the point where, eyes are on streamers. Like, you're gonna tell me who has had? Have you seen the speed character, Andre? This dude walks around. It's like Michael Jackson in the '90s, but people mob him. It's actually crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, streamers are taking over. I just seen an article they're taking over Nantucket. Like they have to like put up signs like they had to put up signs in Nantucket that says no streamers allowed, no like influencers, because like bro, like the whole island of Nantucket is covered with influencers and streamers. It's crazy.
Because they're getting money,
go to
man.
Nantucket
They're getting
to
real life money.
to to get your stream game going on. I was not aware. We got some good stuff coming in the chat. Good stuff coming in the chat. But so, bro, are you saying because everybody like Draymond has a podcast? Draymond you brought some good points. I don't agree with them. He was just talking about Edgecombe and Philly and how.
Hold on, time out. Something just came to my head, Dre. Time out. 1 second. So give me this podcast thing. All right. Think about it right now. Who has a podcast in the NFL and got traded this year? Big player.
Say it again.
For the Cowboys.
I don't know.
Who had a podcast in the NFL, played for the Cowboys?
Micah Parsons does he have a podcast? No.
Yes, he does. And yes, he got traded.
Yeah.
Do you see the synchrony of how because from a team standpoint, you're giving almost inside scoop to the locker room, which could be you don't ever want the media to really know what's going on inside the locker room. You really don't because then they start to and I know his war with the media is the war, but guess what? Like that's their job is to report on y'all. Michael Parsons. Yep.
Imagine if Tom Brady had a podcast during the Patriots run. Bill Belichick would not have allowed that at all.
But I mean, it's the player empowerment, and it's just it's a weird shift that we're seeing, and it's more so of athletes want to be like streamers and podcasters.
This picture is reminding me that Mitchell Robinson was a great pickup for the Celtics. Like
pickup.
That was a great pickup. He's just going to be getting offensive rebounds, kick it out for threes all day. That's all he's going to do.
The only thing that makes me nervous is our point guard position. I'm just going to keep it a buck. That right there it actually pisses me off because Drew Holiday is out there in the street.
Yeah.
And we chose bring Drew Holiday back. This is a great team.
Conley's solid though. See, I disagree with that a little bit. I like Conley. I like Conley.
Solid. Conley's solid, but he will never. He's not going to get you over that hump. Conley, he's 30. He's our age. Conley.
No, but at times the Celtics need someone that should just settle them down and just not turn the ball over. Like I feel like sometimes they just need a guy like that, and Conley's kind of that guy. I feel like.
He will be that calm. I would say that calm piece for them when they need that bigger. I would say that's something they didn't have last year. They didn't have somebody that if Jalen wasn't dropping 30,
keep cooking. I just got to get keep cooking. Go ahead.
Who else can actually handle the ball to do something? Like come playoff time. I'm sorry, Peyton's getting locked up.
Yeah. No, I agree. And if he doesn't, he's scoring on real tough shots. It always looks really hard. Like when he's scoring,
he's working every bucket is work.
Yeah, he's fighting for his life out there. Yeah, I mean, he can score, but it's not easy. Like I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Derek White shot horrible too, though. Like in that series,
Derek White played. See, and that was the other thing that like the slights that we saw. Like, we think Derek White had just as good of a season as Jaylen Brown. I'm like,
not even close.
Running with this. They're just letting them run with it now. I'm like, this.
Yeah, that's asinine. Yeah, that's crazy.
Out of control.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah, and you know what I thought too in the playoffs, like. I mean, a lot of people, they end up saying it in like the commentaries, like they didn't play their bench enough. I feel like they didn't go to Shireman. They didn't go to, Hauser as much. I mean, even though I'm not that much of a Hauser fan, I like Sharman, but yeah, I feel like they didn't go to their bench that much, you know?
I feel, and this is where either we're going to be decent or we might struggle if our bench doesn't take that big step forward this year. It's going
Yeah.
like there's some players on that bench that it's time to step up. Jordan Walsh, I'm expecting a big
Yes.
year out of you. Like I'm expecting a big year out of Jordan.
Oh yeah,
Walsh.
it's his time.
Yes, I'm expecting a
Yes.
big year out of Jordan Walsh. He needs to. I mean, at one point he was in the starting lineup. And Paul
What are they going to do
George,
with Vucevic this year?
he's gone.
Like, I don't even know.
Vucevic is gone.
He's
No,
gone, right?
He's
He's
gone.
gone. I was going to say. Yeah, all right. He's gone.
Podcast
All right.
P ended his podcast. No more.
He doesn't have a podcast anymore?
Doesn't have a. He said, "I'm good on podcasting this season. I'm going to focus on basketball," which shows you.
Breaking news.
I mean, podcast P will not be. It's almost like the paint is all over the wall, yo, for Paul George to have a good year. Like everybody thinks he's chips. You know what I'm saying? He just got back from steroid. Like he just took some steroids. Like he might be ready to go. Pause.
He's gonna be letting that thing fly, man. He's gonna be shooting threes. He's gonna be loving it.
That's what I'm saying.
Missoula's gonna be like, shoot as many threes as you want.
Shoot as many quarter threes as you want. Hugo needs to step up and play well, but the how good the Celtics will be this year is almost gonna be attested to how good our bench is going to play, because Tatum's probably gonna score like 32 a game.
Yeah, we definitely gonna. It's a young bench. You know, you got Hugo, Shireman. I mean, not that Jordan Walsh's third year, but that's still pretty. I mean, it's a young bench, but that's why I'm glad they got Conley, because at least it's a veteran presence there.
That's what I said. He could bring that piece to that second unit, which he has done very well. I would say he did that well in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I like Minnesota. Speaking of Minnesota, what they're doing with the young guys. I don't know if you saw, they just picked up Jonathan Kuminga. You know, they got a lot of guys.
Kuminga?
Yes. They
got a good pickup.
You know,
Minnesota's going to be tough, man. Minnesota is going to be tough.
Guys that have some maybe maturing to do, but that might, they're all in their mid-20s, full of spit and vinegar. Obviously,
man,
and Edwards.
I bet you those practices get crazy. I can bet you right now the practices probably get crazy.
Yeah, they might be. I didn't love them getting rid of some of their veteran guys, but I think LaMelo, and they might get the best out of guys that have been kind of inconsistent. Specifically,
I think they get the best out of LaMelo. I tell you, they're going to get the best out of LaMelo.
Okay, guys, a couple things that I need clarification on with this Celtics team, where I take a different view. To me, I feel the roadmap for this team is to be, Jason Tatum centric, and then just everybody else kind of play around Tatum. Bro, Ryan dropped off. He can come back on. He'll be back on in a second. But how do you feel Paul George is going to fit in with this team? How do you feel?
I think he's going to fit in great. I don't think it's going to be a lot of, I would say like meshing, shoot a lot of threes, get in the corner,
shoot a lot of threes, get in the corner. He can just come in and do his thing. How about
Derek White? If he plays like he played in the playoffs, if he plays like that, Paul George will be just fine in Boston.
Okay, so we get playoff P, and he's just fine. All right, Peyton Pritchard. I think he's better coming off the bench to lead the bench rather than playing in a starting lineup that's a bit crowded.
I hate having him in the starting lineup.
Right.
Just like having him in the starting lineup.
You start Peyton Pritchard, and he's not going to be able to cook.
Not gonna
Whereas
be
you
able
have
to
him
cook.
coming off the bench and he has more of an
When will he be
opportunity.
able to cook?
Yep.
That lineup, when does he cook? You put no, he really doesn't get a chance to cook.
There you got stuff for your birthday. My bad. I think like something happened to my phone. I don't know.
All good, man. No problem. We got a quick question. My question, Ryan,
Yes.
and I'm getting the sense, you feel like this team is going to come together like a classic New Bedford team, and they're going to gel, and they're going to have a good camaraderie, a fraternity, and they're just going to go out there and hoop with energy, passion, intensity, and it's going to, and I hope that's the case as well. I've had a bit of a quandary, I'm unsure. So I'm interested in your view.
Well,
What do
hey,
you?
I never said it was all going to be kumbaya great. I mean, I agree with you that it could not go great, but I mean, I think this was the better option. So who would you have rather kept? Like, because like at the end of the day, they couldn't kept both. Like they weren't going to. So, so you think? Do you think they should have got rid of Tatum, or do you think they made the right decision? Because I think that's what it comes down to too.
Yeah, me, I'm taking the argument that you can't have your cake and eat it too in this instance, and I feel the Celtics knew. So you keep them both and you take the hit in terms of the second apron, luxury tax, whatever the case may be. You got to pay the cost to be the boss. You have to pay that extra money to win championships. My argument is all of these second apron moves that they've made that you guys are in agreement with, which I understand. When the ownership changed, Wick said he was trying to win multiple championships. He said he was trying to win 3 or 4 championships when he gave Drew the 4-year deal. That's what he said. Then he won the first championship and sold the team at the heights and bounced. He said he was committed for 4 years, but he bounced after the first year. Wick, if you knew you were going to sell high, then you could have signed Drew to a 2-year deal, because I feel Drew Holiday would have done what Jalen Brunson did to keep that Knicks team and what Victor Wembanyama is doing in San Antonio to keep that team together. I thought he would have taken a haircut to keep the band together. So from the standpoint of, I see what you're saying about, too much money, so on and forth. But if that was your mindset, Celtics, Wick, Grossback, Chisholm, then you should have had that before you signed those mega deals. And I think guys would have. Now, if Jaylen Brown said no, I'm not taking any cent less because I have to get all my money, I'm not going to do what Jalen Brunson did. I'm not going to do what Victor Wembanyama did. By the way, I can't stand the second apron. I don't think these guys should have to take haircuts. I don't think the NBA needs this. I think the luxury tax was fine. But my argument is you should have handled this beforehand, not on the back end, worried about your money. So that's where I come in. But
Yeah, I agree with it. I agree with everything you're saying. But do you think the team is good enough to win a championship with Brown and Tatum? Because you've seen what happened. I mean, they had that championship they won where, let's be honest, they faced a lot of injured teams. Okay, and they've got bounced a lot throughout their careers. They've made it pretty decently far, but not as far as you'd think they would, right? They've got bounced a lot. So do you think that even works together anymore, Brown and Tatum, like as a duo? Like maybe they saw that as well, because they didn't have as much success in the playoffs as a lot of people thought they should have. Yeah.
Bro, you have something on that?
So I mean, this was pure money. This was pure. I think this was about as pure money. Yes, I mean, speculate all we want, but at the end of the day, these NBA owners are about a dollar. Period. Like, that's why Wick came in, got his chip sold high. The other guy came in, said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa. We gotta choose. We really gotta choose." And at the end of the day, Paul George is your favorite player's favorite player. So, he could be that guy. Anything he, I would say, has a lot of people doubting him, which I love. I love a good underdog. Just be doubted after you just came back from a 45-game suspension for whatever enhancement drugs you were taking. and I think he'll be ready to play. And I'm confident that he'll be ready to play because he fits the mold. He'll do well in the Celtics system.
Oh, that system's fit perfectly for him. He's just going to shoot
Mm-hmm.
threes. That's all he's
Shoot
going to
threes.
do.
Yeah, all he needs to do is shoot threes.
Yeah, yeah, it's a perfect system for him. Absolutely. He's going to have a
Nice.
good year if he stays healthy.
I agree with that. If he stays healthy, great year.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That's
what's
the
the
problem.
situation? Yeah, what's the situation with Peyton Pritchard? How do you see? He's been compared to Jalen Brunson. He's currently won a Sixth Man of the Year. Where does Peyton Pritchard fit in with this team? And then with this idea that he now needs to, which I don't subscribe to. I think he's a Sixth Man of the Year. I think that's his most effective role on this team, like it was on the previous team. But what is Peyton Pritchard's place on this new look Celtics team?
I think he's still a bench guy, like 6 man, come off the bench. I mean, you saw what happened when he played against starters, like consistently. I mean, he's undersized. I mean, who compares him to Jalen Brunson? he's he's far from Jalen Brunson. Like I think personally, I mean, he's a good player. He does his thing, but I mean, I think he's a good 6 man, come off the bench, provide scoring. I mean, he had some moments in the playoffs this year, but again, like when in the playoffs, when it gets tight, I think every possession it looks tough. He's not getting. He's scoring, but he's making. He does make tough shots, and it's tough for him a lot of the time. But the
Right.
guy can shoot. Definitely can shoot.
Yeah, he's and the Jalen Brunson talk. I think that's a lot of the Celtics. The Celtics folks trying to change the narrative. These are the lineups in the East. Obviously, this is before LeBron made his decision. But in terms of what the Celtics are going to be, and that's the difference between a D Wade and LeBron James is, as far as they say, the East is from the West. So Philly, a much different roster for Philly. But no disrespect for Tatum. I think a lot's being put on his shoulders that he didn't ask for because, again, if you follow the social media, the Celtics put up the video, the video of him, doing all his basketball drills in the garage, yada yada yada, and then the NBA picked that video up, about Peyton Pritchard, and he's gonna, I hope he has a good year. I hope he continues his advancement as an NBA player. But to your point, he's going to be going up against these guys and not the second lineup guys. So he's going to have to guard Harden or Mitchell. He's going to have to guard, Brunson or Mikal Bridges. He's going to have to guard Maxey or Edgecombe, right? He's not going to.
Yeah, I mean, they might keep him off the bench, though. You could throw Hauser in there, or Shireman, or someone, even I don't know. Yeah, it's just tough. They don't really have a four, like a true four. If you really look at their roster, who's their four besides, obviously Tatum and George can play the four, but they don't really have a traditional one in that sense.
I was thinking about this the other day. I think Jordan Walsh needs to start. I think Jordan Walsh needs to start as the 3-and-D guy so that Tatum, to take some of the pressure off of Tatum defensively. Okay, Mitch Robb that's what all he's doing is eating glass and changing shots and being. So Mitch Robb is your Tyson Chandler, your DeAndre Jordan, that type of just your Derek Lively. That's what he's gonna do. He's only defense. Paul George is not locking anybody up.
No.
He's not locking people down at this stage of his career. And Peyton Pritchard is not locking anybody down because that's not his game. So people talk about, Derek White, and he had all this analytics baloney that they, is essentially equivocating because of the Jaylen Brown deal. Derek White is a good defender, but look at these guards, and we don't even have Halliburton up there. We don't even have we don't have Cade Cunningham up here. I think the Celtics need to start Jordan Walsh. have Pritchard come off the bench, and then Jordan Walsh can be another one of your energy Tommy Point guys, right? You got
100%.
in this lineup, you got 4 guys that get buckets and 1 guy that eats glass. No, that's not balanced. You need 3 guys. You got 3 guys, Tatum, George, and Derek White, who can play point guard. He's not a pure point guard. He's not the same point guard that Drew Holiday is. That's why I've been saying since the doggone trade happened, you should never trade Drew Holiday. I don't want to get rid of Derek White, but I'm not trading Drew Holiday for all the rupees in India because he would have kept things together. So anyway, Pritchard, come off the bench and cook. Jordan Walsh, young, or Hugo, or any one of those young Lions. They're not Lions.
You could slide Hugo into the play. He could play the 2 and then have Pritchard come off the bench. You could definitely do that.
Right. But one of those guys to do the dirty work, to play defense, right? This lineup is 4 scorers, that can defend, but it's too much. And for me, my view of this team, interested in what you think, I think they need to be the 2001 Philadelphia 76ers. Where's my man Theo Ratliff at? Where's my man Aaron McKee at? Where's my man George Lynch at? Where's my man Eric Snow, my point guard, game manager like me? I wasn't a bucket getter. I think they need to be the 2001 76ers, meaning, another team you can say is the 2005 LA Lakers. This isn't a my turn, your turn thing. I'm not interested. I'm saying, Tatum, you need to go out there and just cook and focus on your offense, be dominant, average 30-plus points a game, and all these other guys play off of him.
He's got that. I think that's why they kept Tatum over Brown because, Tatum's better at being a playmaker and getting other people involved. And this is his year to be that guy. Like, he's got no excuses now. Like, he's the man. It's truly his team. No question about it. So, it's up to him to perform, and I think he will. I got faith in him.
Okay, but how do you feel about that style of play, which we don't see because that's the old school NBA, Tracy McGrady, you could throw Vince in there, about just isolation offense.
That's not how they play, though. I don't think that's how they will play. I think Tatum will probably shoot a little bit more than he did in the past years, but their offense is predicated. You have an open 3, you're going to shoot it. Like you get a decent look at the hoop, you're shooting it. That's how they like to play. Maybe they'll tweak it. Brad Stevens did say in his postseason press conference that they have to get easier shots sometimes, meaning they have to get to the hoop, which is why they went after Giannis, because he would have been the answer to their prayers, in my opinion, because that's a guy that gets to the hoop. He lives in the paint, dunks, and I think that is what they're missing. And maybe they're going to try to do more of that, but do they have the personnel that can actually do that?
Yeah. That you want to put pressure on the rim. Giannis would have done that. My rejoinder was, I think, Jaylen Brown did put pressure on the rim. I got to ask you, man. And not only, but you do come from a basketball family. Your dad was the coach of New Bedford many years. Now the AD in Wareham, who's won 3 state championships in the last 4 years. So you come from a basketball family. Okay. Yeah. And I'm not going to speak for you, but you can speak on, however you want. But here's what I have to listen. And this goes back to when you had the MA disaster. Okay. The MA, it was a disaster because MA was misbehaving. I don't know what he did, but I know that MA shouldn't have done whatever the heck it was he did because MA is a worker and somebody that had to take, he's a guy that could have been the head coach in Brooklyn that year when Brooklyn had 4 head coaches, right?
Yeah.
Or had 3
he had the Celtics
coaches.
playing defense. He had the Celtics playing defense, Ime.
Right.
He did.
And he has Houston playing defense, and he's a culture builder. So however he was treating people off the court, he should have known better because he's not somebody with a silver spoon. But that's not my point that I'm making. My point that I'm making is that when you started that season, Joe Mazzulla was your 4th head coach. He was your 4th head coach on the bench. You had M.A., you had Will Hardy, who's in Utah, and you had Damon Stoudemire, who went down to Georgia Tech, and then you had Joe Mazzulla. He was not, and because of things that happened, Will Hardy got got headhunted by Danny Ainge to come and run things in Utah, and hopefully finally they'll let him cook and coach instead of tanking like they've been doing for like 5 years, which is ridiculous. Damon Stoudemire was an MA guy. He ended up going to Georgia Tech. And then Joe Mazzulla was the last man left, and so he's just there, and it's like, okay, now you're in the big chair with this team that's trying to compete for a championship with no help. I said it then, I'm saying it now. Brad Stevens should have went out and got a Frank Vogel, or went out and all these teams have two head coaches. They have the actual head coach, and they have somebody that was a head coach. This was a situation when Golden State, when Mike Brown was there, right? You see how San Antonio just brought in Billy Donovan, which I think is a tremendous move to help out Mitch Johnson. You see how you have like David Jorger, who's out, you know what I mean, helping out. He's worked with Doc for a number of years. So my point is that was a management error, leaving Joe Mazzulla out there by himself to go head-to-head with Eric Spoelstra. Are you kidding me? You're going to go head-to-head with Eric Spoelstra and not have no help? That's how you go down 3-0. That's how you win 3 straight games, and then you get blown out in Game 7. You get smacked at home in Game 7. It's on. You don't have the brain trust. So I'm going to I know I'm talking a lot here, but here's my point. The next year, what did Brad Stevens? He recognized. He brought in Sam Cassell.
Absolutely.
Lead assistant. He brought in Charles Lee from Coach Bud's, staff. Charles Lee's doing big things in Charlotte. We can talk about Charlotte. He brought in Emil Jefferson from John Shire's staff, who had coached with Duke. And then the cherry on top, ESPN doing the crazy stuff that they're doing, getting rid of talented people for no good reason that people want to see. He brought in Jeff Van Gundy as a special consultant in the front office. You got 4 guys now, really 3. Emil Jefferson's kind of new to this, but you got Sam Cassell, head coach in waiting, Charles Lee, current head coach, Jeff Van Gundy, former head coach, to help Joe Mazzulla, and that's when you had the dynastic season. Jeff Van Gundy gets headhunted by the Clippers. Charles Lee goes to Charlotte to build themselves up, okay? And Brad, you got to bring in people. Joe Mazzulla is not, and even like JJ Redick, that's so to the point, what I want to talk to you about is the coaching element with this team. I don't feel that their bench is as strong as it needs to be for them to be successful. Nobody has come in for Charles Lee. Nobody has come in for Jeff Van Gundy. Sam Cassell can do his thing, fine. Who are the other coaches to help them? Or is that take a hot take and you think that they have an organization that has enough strength to get through to these guys?
Yeah, I mean, I always think basketball, especially maybe the NBA, it's more of a relationship type business, like Mazzulla and Stevens, I know, are really close. So I think it's a good working relationship they have together. They can bounce stuff off each other. Brad can suggest something and all that. And to be perfectly frank, I think like coaching severely overrated in the NBA, like ridiculously overrated in the NBA. Like these teams don't even practice during the season. You know what I mean? So so that shows you how much coaching really matters. These teams don't even practice. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, how much does I mean, I'd much rather have great players than a great coach in the NBA, put it that way. Like in a sport like football, yes, coaching matters a lot. But NBA, not so much. College basketball, yes. NBA, I mean, it's 100% a players' league. I know that sounds cliche, but it really truly is, in my opinion.
Okay, and that's a different view, but we're different people. I mean, you played at a very high level in high school. You played at a high level, in Bloomfield, and won there. So,
but like today, I was at a basketball thing today, and Tyler Kolek was there. I was talking with his dad, and he tells me all about the NBA, like inside stuff. So it's like he's the one that told me today that the New York Knicks did not have one practice all year. They didn't have one practice. It's crazy. So it's like, he's like, I don't know if every organization's like that, but he was like, that they did not have, so it's like, it was frustrating for Tyler because he's like, how do I earn a spot when I can't even, it's not like you can go prove yourself in practice or anything because they don't practice, Like they do individual workouts, like that's their practice. Like they'll go with their trainer and they'll have a practice, and that's it. Like they don't have like, oh, team, like we're gonna go 5-on-5 scrimmage, and they didn't do that.
So again, I was excited, and right then and there, and we'll get Tyler up on the screen in a second, because you've added something notable. Tyler Cole, somebody we're very proud of here in the Commonwealth. Played at St. George Prep School, and his story and his journey, and we can we'll talk a little bit about Tyler now because I just think it's warranted, and he's a grinder. He's somebody you can cut me off and jump in at any time. But I remember he played for Middlesex when they were not on the Under Armour circuit when he played for them. And he kept his head down. He grinded. That's how he got to George Mason. And he kept his head down there and grinded. That's how he got to Marquette, and then the NBA, and now he's an NBA champion. So that the New York Knicks, my New York Knicks. Tom Thibodeau's my favorite coach. I don't know if you knew that or not, Ryan. I'm happy for Mike.
I love Thibodeau.
Tom Thibodeau's my favorite coach. That they did not practice consistently or at all.
Well, no, Thibodeau's not the coach. It's what's his name's the coach. The guy Mike Brown. Mike Brown. Yeah. They practiced when Thibodeau was the coach. They didn't. Mike Brown didn't have practices.
So yes, but they won their first championship in 53 years.
So it worked. Yeah, it worked. It worked.
But yeah, the marathon practices. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, yeah, but I mean Tyler, he's a true success story, man. He grinded. He didn't even have many scholarships coming out of high school. He went to George Mason, got Player of the Year. The Shaka Smart saw film on him. He wanted him. Went to Marquette, had a great career. Got drafted in the second round. He's just in a tough spot right now. I mean, he got paid, so he can't complain that much. But like, he's behind Brunson, and there's a lot of politics in the NBA. They brought in Alvarado kind of because Rick Brunson likes Alvarado. He's like close with him, so they brought in Alvarado. So like, yeah, it's like I got a whole like lesson on it. It's like there's a lot of politics in the NBA, man, more than you would think.
And we're gonna stay on this real quick. I want to get so the Knicks, and we're gonna get the art in a second. So Tyler is in a difficult situation, but a couple years ago, who was in a difficult situation for the Boston Celtics and wanted out? Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Peyton Pritchard wanted out a few years ago when the Celtics brought in, they brought in Derek White. They already had Marcus Smart. They had Malcolm Brogdon. Peyton Pritchard's like, hey, man, I want to be traded. I want out. And the Celtics said, no, we're not doing that. You're staying. Yeah. And he was salty. He a little salty. Mm-hmm. Okay. And now where is he? People are looking for him, looking at him to be the next Jalen Brunson. So situations can change. Relative to my Knicks, and they are my Knicks, even though they got rid of my coach. It is, I do, and obviously he's living it, but I questioned, they brought in Jordan Clarkson. They already had Landry Shamet. You have Deuce McBride that had to, he had to get worked out and whatever. And then you brought in Jose Alvarado and you still had Tyler. They got like 6-7 guards.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I know.
And Tyler can do his thing, and he did his thing during the regular season. Alvarado had some huge moments in the playoffs.
Yeah, he did. He had some,
but not that Tyler couldn't do the same thing, but to your point, it's I didn't think that it would happen. And by the way, folks, let's just remember this Knicks team was down 2-1 against the Atlanta Hawks, and a lot of people didn't know it was going to happen before they caught lightning in a bottle, and the rest is history. So they were up against the wall, and then Mike Brown went and got the secret sauce, and so I'm good with it. I'm happy, but they had some down moments, and there was drama with this team to end the NBA season, and they had to have individual meetings to get themselves ready for their playoff run. So it was a long journey. Yeah, Tyler's a good dude, and he's gonna be a professional. But it's just that they got like 5 of the same thing. They have more guards, it seems like, than Portland.
Yep. And when you're the youngest one, and it's like there's like a hierarchy, you know what I mean? Like you could have. That's the weird thing about the NBA. Like he had those like 6 games where he just balled out, but it's like then you go right back to the bench because the other guy's back. You know what I mean? So it's just like it doesn't matter. That's the frustrating thing about the NBA sometimes. You kind of got this hierarchy, and it is what it is.
I feel that, but I also, you know what I mean? I think his time is coming.
Yeah, it is. He's got 1 year left on his contract. and if he goes to, there's teams that are definitely interested and want him. So it's like he's just in a tough spot because they got, like you said, they got so many guys in his spot.
Right. And this is where, this is Tyler at, Cumberland. This is, you might have been out that way today, out in Rhode Island, a beautiful day for it.
But we're in Newport.
Yeah, out in Newport. So, again, Tyler's a guy, just to kind of give some folks some feedback. I've been refereeing his games since he was middle school, early high school. Middlesex Magic player. And somebody that didn't have any of the fanfare. Because, again, Middlesex Magic right now are on the Under Armour circuit. They're placing guys in the McDonald's All-American game. Duncan Robinson, Pat Connaughton, some of their alumni, and more behind that.
They have a guy that just signed to Michigan. I forget his name. He's like a 7-foot guy. He just signed to Michigan from Middlesex, too.
I think I know who you're talking about. I forget his name. African-American kid?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. He was one of the, they got one kid, Griffiths, Declan.
You know who
Griffiths,
I gotta give a shout out to?
Go ahead.
To my homie Ryan Mason, who is the athletic director for the national champion Bella Vista Prep out here in Arizona. Okay, Arizona sports have been booming, man. Wow. And
good weather out there. That's why they can play year round. All these
year
sports,
round and train. They could train.
It's like a big advantage.
Athlete.
Yeah,
that's a huge advantage. I don't think you understand. These kids can train in any sport year round.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's actually insane.
Yeah. No, I know. That's why all these players come from the South, especially football and baseball, because they just can play year round. It's tough. You can only play certain months up here, as you know.
Up in the north, man. When we were growing up, I don't even think we didn't even have gym time. Now, these kids have gyms in their houses.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, these kids got so much more than we had. Not even close. Oh my! Like just dealing with my son, these kids got so much stuff. Like it's so much more. That's why they're so much more skilled than we were.
Yep.
More skill, but I got to ask. Tyler, you're a coach's son. Tyler, coach's son. Has family that's talented. But in I've never seen him not have the eye of the tiger or not be hungry or have any sense of entitlement.
Oh, no, he's a dog. His dad wouldn't let him have that. His dad's real tough in a good way. Like his dad played ball at UMass Dartmouth. He was a good player. So he comes from like a family that knew basketball. So his dad always kept him on the right path too. So that plays a big part in it too.
Huge.
Right.
Huge part.
Yeah.
So this is a young man, and it's like for my situation, and maybe Dwayne can speak to this, again, didn't have all these AAU teams, didn't have all the trainers and all the options. It was essentially you played for the school or you didn't play at all. And then, Barnstable, bigger town, a lot of talent, there's different politics, whatever. So I was one of the kids that ended up on the outside looking in, coming up through the ranks. And then, when I got to my, upperclassmen years, I was just actually, a couple of my good buddies there, their youngins are coming up through the ranks. I mentioned the other day, Ryan, my buddy Freeman Perry, his son is the same age as your son.
Okay.
He's, good basketball player, and he played against your team, your son's team. We talked about it in terms of what you guys have going, and I mentioned, what you're doing, and then what Brian does with his program, so on and forth. But the point is, my perspective is going to be different, and it's challenging for some young people because I didn't have, so it means I see it differently because I was on the outside. If you've always had resources, you don't know what it's like not to have resources. But back to Tyler, he's a kid that's distinctive for me because like you see kids that have resources and become entitled.
Yeah, exactly. No, I know a lot of those.
Right? They're good athletes. Like they're nice enough kids. Like they're not cursing you out or flipping tables, but they have this perception that they are Brian Rudolph good or Anthony Gurley good, or Corey
Exactly.
Lowe good, or Ryan Rodriguez good, or Nick Ponce good. They feel that they are like Boston Globe All Scholastic good before they are.
Yeah, because everyone tells them, like, I mean, it's you should AAU. It's not AAU. It's like rec ball now. Like, if you want to be on an AAU team, you can. Like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful or mean, but like we're in a baseball tournament this weekend, and me and one of the other parents were laughing because we were playing this team and they were not very good at all. We were winning like 20-0, and their jerseys they said elite on them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, what is elite about this team? Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like you're giving these kids false hope a lot of the time. That's why I love the coaches that are, not mean, but they keep it real with the kids, who tell them like what they got to work on, if they're good enough or not. Be real with the parents instead of lying to the kids. I think you gotta be coached by someone who's gonna tell you the truth.
It's crazy because growing up on the Cape and seeing levels of talent, and then moving to Arizona as like a little more older and mature and actually like understanding the talent. There's just levels to this shit. Period.
Yeah.
Like point blank. Just look at the landscape of the NBA. Right. All right.
Bro, can you say it one more time? What did you say?
There are levels to this shit. Sorry for cutting. There just is. I mean,
that wasn't the effect that I wanted. So that's the effect that I needed. That's the effect that I was going for. Okay.
But the perfect example is like, look at the Boozer boys. Like, you got these kids coming up in the ranks who just have unlimited resources.
Yep.
And like, yes, we have but the NBA is starting to become less of those kids from, you would say, Bad News, Virginia. Because guess what? If you're that talented now and you're in Bad News, Virginia, you ain't in Bad News, Virginia no more.
No doubt.
That's literally how it works. Like, I'm starting to see. I mean, I feel like Arizona recruits nationwide. They bring kids out here and be like, yo, we'll put you up in an apartment right next to the high school, because I mean it's open. Like, I mean, I feel like every state should be like that. It's just open. You could go anywhere. You could bring your kid physically. You could go to any school you want. Just, you got to, if you want to go to a far school, you're in charge of getting them there.
So it's like school choice?
School choice.
That's cool. They have that here, but no one utilizes it because I don't think anyone really cares.
Because it's not, it's more, because here you see it being utilized more so of AAU teams will now just be it would just be they're pretty much their high school team.
Yeah,
like the teams will just, which is fire. Like, if you think of, if you were able just to play all 4 years with your AAU team,
that's what we did when I was in high school. That's pretty much what we did. But yeah, and that's the thing. If you're any good in Massachusetts now, like, not if you're like a really good player, you're probably going to prep school. So that's what's really that's what's hurt the Mass public schools a lot, man. Especially in basketball, in football. It's tough, man. It's like, because there's a lot of talent. There's talent in Massachusetts. You just don't see it a lot of the time because they're at prep school.
They're prep school. They get scooped up and go to prep school because literally the scout will tell them that's what you need to get to the next level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we need you to be seeing you playing against that level of competition, and it's crazy because I'm gonna reach out to I went to college with Ryan, and he's now the athletic director. So I'm gonna reach out to him and see if I can like intern or be a part of somehow of the basketball team this year.
Yeah, that would be
just to be around that that hungry mindset is the real deal. And also, Andre, look him up. Miles Sadler.
I'm on it.
West Virginia commit. He'll be starting. Hopefully, he'll be the starting point guard at West Virginia. But honestly, he was my favorite point guard I've seen in a very long time. Kid could ball, man, against anybody.
He's going to be playing with Josan Sannon from Fall River. Then he's just went to West Virginia.
West Virginia too?
Yeah, I coached him at Durfee, but that's the thing about prep school. He played freshman year for us at Durfee and Fall River, and then he went to prep school the rest of the time. And then he played at St. John's last year.
Okay. Yep.
You've probably seen him before.
He
But
played
yeah,
at ASU.
yes, he played at ASU first. Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and then he's going. Yeah, so damn, they got West Virginia should be pretty good. They got the other kid from I think he might be from Massachusetts too. They have another kid there that's pretty good. I forget his name.
Dude, I'm telling
But
you, this kid Miles Sadler he from a point guard standpoint, he's a game commander.
he's from Arizona.
Yeah, he's a gamer. He
No.
went to Bella Vista Prep, and they won nationals this year.
Did you watch Arizona State at all?
Yeah, I went
I'm
there.
surprised.
I graduated from Arizona State.
Why couldn't Hurley be like? I don't understand how you couldn't get that going.
Why couldn't he be successful at Arizona there?
Yeah.
That's a tough spot.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is those they're basically in the NBA.
Yeah.
Okay, ASU, you are basically an NBA player, just in terms of your campus lifestyle. Because I mean, when I was in college, I hung out with the crew of James Harden and all that. So
Yeah, that's dope.
The way that they move, it's very different. You know what I'm saying? So
I imagine.
I just don't. I mean, I don't think he could just put it together. I ran into Hurley at the meat store. Pause. picking up some steaks. I was like, man, I was looking. I'm like, yeah, that's Hurley. And then like the next week he was fired. So I think there was a lot of never could get really synchrony.
Because they had talent when Joe Son's freshman year. They had him, Quaintance, whatever his name was. That was good. They were good, man. They just couldn't put it together.
They couldn't put it together. And if that comes down to not being able to put it together, more of the times it's usually the coach.
Yeah.
Especially in college, I feel like college is really. That's why I think these NBA coaches going into college, they're gonna do very well.
Yeah.
Because college is a lot more about X's and O's.
It is. That's what me and Andre were talking about before with the coaching. He was asking about Missoula, and he's kind of, I'm like, I was telling him NBA. I don't think coaching really matters that much.
Coaching doesn't really matter that much in the NBA. You know who proved that? A man by the name of Mark D'Antoni, or I don't know if that was his first name. I don't know if that was his first name, but D'Antoni.
That's his name.
Yeah.
Man, that boy came out and said, "You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna just run offense.
Yeah.
That's it. All right.
Yeah.
Don't even talk to me about and it was in Phoenix. He said all we're doing is playing offense. And you know what? Look at the NBA now.
That's how they play.
Everybody runs the D'Antoni offense.
Those teams are amazing with Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire. I love those teams.
Amari Stoudemire used to pull up to the college club, man, when I was at ASU, all the time. Amari Stoudemire was like a regular.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, those teams. I love watching those teams though.
Man, that's what I'm saying. It was just run and gun.
Steve
Nash got an MVP.
7 seconds or less.
Yeah, 2 MVPs, I think.
2 MVP, man. One was questionable, but
yeah. Oh, I got 5 minutes and I got to get out of here.
Cool, man.
Break it down, Dre.
Anywhere, we're talking about the preps, and I think you're bringing important perspective. What I will say, your point is well taken about coaching and how it matters and it doesn't matter. But every coach is not Mike D'Antoni, right? Who's going to change a Steve Nash into 2-time MVP. And it was Mike D'Antoni that moved James Harden from a 2-guard to the point guard and turned him into an MVP. But, as you're saying, I have my way of doing things. The way I think is, you can tell why Tom Thibodeau is my favorite coach. Tom Thibodeau is having Pat Riley practices, right?
Oh, yeah.
Guys are practicing 2-3 hours. and he's really drilling guys, and that's the way that he goes about things. The Knicks made a move and won a championship without him, but at the same time, Hartenstein, who won a championship with Oklahoma City, he's a Tom Thibodeau guy. Nobody knew who Jimmy Butler was. Jimmy Butler was an afterthought until Derrick Rose got hurt and he was ready. That's a Tibbs guy. So
Yeah.
and then you will talk about Jalen Brunson's evolution from a good player to an all-star, all-NBA player. That took place under Tom Thibodeau's leadership as well. So I do think, it's a fine line, and you have to, Mike Brown certainly navigated it very well, but the coaches that are old school, like the Spoelstras of the world, I mean, the heat of practicing.
Tibbs is a great coach. He just didn't. His problem was he just didn't sub. Like he just thought you could play 5 guys the whole game in the NBA in a 48-minute game. You can't.
It doesn't work anymore, man. You can't do that anymore.
Like Brunson can do it, but you can't do that with all the other 4 guys. Like it's like he played like 6 guys one playoff game. I think it was like it was crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a Coach K. He had a Coach K perspective. And there's a reason. These college kids are playing 40 games a season versus 100 and some odd games. So it's twice the longevity with the shorter rotation. So point taken. Ryan, I'll allow you to go where you need to go, but I did want to before you got out here, I wanted to look at some of the great teams and just get your perspective as somebody who played at a very high level, but is also kind of, not just because I know you. I mean, like you're pretty level-headed type of guy. You're just kind of like easy going, which everybody that plays at a high level, you can. Some guys are kind of a little bit distant. It's like you can only get so close. But my point with that is, like, what is the difference in levels, you having seen it, and then kind of speaking to like the Utes? Like, this is, what is the difference between that guy that's going to play at a Division I level? I don't know, Ryan, you're probably familiar with the Embargo League. I see all the highlights.
Yeah.
The guys playing down in Onset, and I think they play at Noah Fernandez Gym in New Bedford. But you got a lot
Brian
of guys
just
that
got
play
hurt.
Division I. You got a lot of guys that.
Hello?
Oh,
Sorry.
he got banged up a bit.
Yeah. But no, he can't even play in the semifinals. Yeah,
what is the difference?
He tore his hand. The difference, in my opinion, is, all right, the guys that, it sounds cliche, but you got to work at it. Like I was just telling my son this, like some of his friends, they want to go to the beach or they want to go, but no, it's got to be 5 days a week. You got to be in the gym 5 days a week, working at it, lifting weight, doing something. Like that was, speaking of Kolek, that's what he lived in the gym. I mean, he lived in the gym. And obviously working out is not going to be the only thing. You have to have some sort of talent to make it. But I think what separates the okay players, good players from the great players is just the work you put in. That sounds simple. It's a lot of it, just the work you put in. You think you can just get it like this? That's not how it works. You got to put in not just a little bit of work.
A lot. You got to be hungry. Literally, you got to be hungry for it. Because like you said, I mean, you think of, okay, you got kids on the West Coast who can train 24/7. They can wake up, nice day out. I mean, we in Arizona, they get over 300 days of sunshine. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I see it. I live across the street from a park. I see kids playing soccer. Like, I'm talking 24/7.
Yeah. Yo, that's a crazy AU team. Look up if you ever get a chance later. One of the teams that me and Brian we played against in Indiana, Spiece Indy Heat. They had
Odin,
they had great
Conley. Who else? They had
Daquan Cook. They had Eric Gordon. Yeah, and then who else did they have? Sean May might have been on that team. They had the white dude that played at Duke. What the hell is his name?
I think we got it on the screen for you, Ryan.
I saw that team.
Josh McRoberts. That's who it is. Josh McRoberts.
Wow, I didn't know he was on that team too.
Yeah, bro, that team was nuts. Bro, we went into that game like what the like, yo, it was crazy, dude. Yo, but
Yep.
Daquan Cook glassed me pretty hard.
Daquan Cook was unreal in high
Yes.
like at that age. Daquan Cook was literally playing like he was in the NBA. I'm not
Yeah.
kidding. He was playing like he was in the NBA.
Oh yeah, dude, he was probably the best one out of all of them at that time.
He
Like
was the best one at that time. He was the best one. That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
Yo,
bro, it's crazy. Bro,
like I saw
that's what
that
these
tweet.
kids are missing out on, though. Like now, there's EYBL. Like we could just roll up to a tournament. We're just an average AAU team. We got to play against these guys. Like that would never happen nowadays. On the other court
No.
next to us was the DC Blue Devils. Kevin Durant was on that team.
Kevin Durant,
So,
yep.
so if we would have won that game, we would have played them. You know what I mean? Like Kevin Durant, Ty Lawson. Like it's
you know
just
what's
not like
crazy?
that anymore. You know
My homie from college was on that AAU team.
what? The DC Blue Devils.
Yep.
Damn, yeah, that team was tough. Like their layup lines were insane. Every single kid could dunk. I think. Like we were watching.
Because he knew that's how he knew Durant. He was from PA,
Yeah,
and he played for the DC Assault.
DC Assault was tough too. We played against them. They had Nolan Smith was on that team.
Yeah, he played for the DC Assault.
Okay.
I was like, damn, you played for DC Assault? Like, damn. I
Yeah.
like, come from the K. I've heard of that.
Yeah, Brian Rudolph got his scholarship in that game because he scored like 30 points in that game, and like Providence offered him. Yeah, Providence offered him right after that game.
that's how you get like right there. That's how you get scholarships.
Yeah. Yeah.
Show
Yeah,
and
that's
prove.
crazy. Yeah.
Show and prove. No, but that yeah, and this, we'll come back to this when because there's a lot. You can do a whole episode on just this slide right here.
Man, we really could though.
In terms of people, that's one of these things. We're looking at Greg Oden night and day different than how he was viewed. He was viewed as the next Bill Russell.
Yeah, he sure was.
At that moment, he was
at that
viewed
point in
as
time.
the next.
So people are wondering, and you guys were there, so you can speak to it. You played, but he, it didn't work out, and so in the scope of history, Kevin Durant was that guy, but Greg Oden at that particular point.
It just shows
you. Mike Conley, his dad's an Olympian. Josh McRoberts, a boyhood, wonder, went to Duke. He was at Duke with Greg Paulson. They had their, Eric Ben Gordon made it to the league. Daquan Cook made it to the league. But again, Ryan, you were on those courts. Dwayne, you played against some of these guys with Ronnie and some of the other guys.
In that circuit, the best player was OJ Mayo, though. Out of all those people, OJ Mayo was like probably the best one, I think, that I saw play at those tournaments. He'd show up to the game, he'd have his shoes on, he'd be late to the game, his shoes would be untied, like he'd be like just strolling in, he'd tie his shoes, then he'd just go and just give you 40. You know what I mean?
Give you
like,
40. Yup.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, it's like that's when you knew, like, there's people 100 times better than I am. I mean, it's like
man, that's like the reality moment. Like, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
But at the same time, before you get up and out of here, and I get that, but I look, OJ Mayo had a website when he was in 8th grade. I remember you guys because I'm older than you talking about this kid that's going to be the next thing, and he certainly did make it through to the NBA. So on and forth. OJ Mayo reminds me of a more recent player who you guys might be familiar with, Mikey Williams, who played for the Compton Magic, who was a boy wonder. Same age.
Like OJ Mayo.
He was better than Mikey Williams. Yeah.
But Mikey Williams dropped 47 as fresh. I mean, someone was going through the past high school, and Mikey Williams dropped 74 his freshman year, some crazy shit.
Yeah, that's crazy. The best high school player of all time is DeJuan Wagner, though.
I agree.
It's hard to go against DeJuan Wagner from Camden. Like he would have been one of the best of all time, but he had some stomach issues. Like he just never I don't know if he would have been the best of all. He would have been an all-star. I think if he had some issues, and he had health issues too. So, but yeah. His son, I don't know what happened to his son. I thought he was in college. I don't know if he went to the NBA.
He's still at Arkansas.
He's still at
Arkansas.
Yeah, he's still at Arkansas.
Yeah, he's a Cal. You know, his dad played for Cal at Memphis, and he's at Cal. You know, DeJuan Wagner, people, you know, again, that he's a year after me in high school, scored 100 points, did his year at Memphis, and then went to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he was on those teams with LeBron James. Reminds me a different situation, but he kind of got overshadowed. He was overshadowed by LeBron, the same way that Tim Thomas, who was playing with the 76ers when Allen Iverson was there. So 76ers had Allen Iverson, Jerry Stackhouse, and Tim Thomas, okay, on one roster. But
Tim Thomas was unbelievable.
Again, that could have been a team like the Warriors, but that was the whole isolation, my turn, your turn type of a situation. And so Stackhouse and Tim Thomas had to go so Allen Iverson could shoot every single shot under the sun.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just the evolution of going from isolation basketball to, you know, a more open space and pace style of basketball.
If you watch those games, it's like a different sport sometimes. Like when you watch those games, it's just so different. You know, like if you watch like the Knicks in the Miami Heat in the 90s, it's just like a different game. Such a different game.
It's a different game.
Well,
indeed. Ryan, I don't want to hold you up any, you know, you can stay as long as you want, but did you have anything further to say?
No, man, this is fun, man. Let's do it again sometime.
You know, I'll certainly reach out. You're always welcome. And we'll be in touch. Got a little bit more summer before have to get back into the school. But
no doubt. Don't rush it though, man. Don't rush it.
We're not rushing anything. We're not rushing anything. We got three good weeks.
All right, brother.
Have a good night, Ryan.
All right, good seeing you, Ryan.
Good seeing you, brother. Later.
Adios. Bro, thank you for checking in with us, my man. This is very good. Very good indeed. In terms of covered the Celtics, we got into the Utes, the stars of tomorrow. While you're here, I would be remiss if I didn't get your perspective on the New England Patriots and where you feel this team is headed.
We're gonna be good. Yeah, we're gonna be good.
Okay, team's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm still a little sour about getting our ass whipped in the Super Bowl. So,
all right, that's helpful. That's a good place to.
So I hope they're
a good place to start because for me, very first game of the season is going to be against
the Seahawks.
Seahawks at their place.
That
as banners going up and pomp and circumstance and all the rest of this. That's their first game that I feel they can win just because of what you're talking about. Them feeling slighted, disrespected, and a number of other emotions. Their second game is the Jaguars at home. No. The second game is the Raiders, I think. Third game is the Jaguars. Fourth game is the Bills. Excuse me. Second game, Steelers at home. Third game, Jaguars on the road. Fourth game, Bills on the road. My feeling is this team could start the season 8-0.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I doubt that happens.
Okay, so if they win the first game in Seattle, because it's the first game of the season and they want their get back, is that possible?
To win the first game in Seattle, that's going to be a tough one. Because Will Campbell, if he don't show up, man, yeah.
It's going to be tough. Obviously, you need Will Campbell, who's your...
I just hope our O-line... I hope our O-line... Yeah, I hope our O-line has recovered. Because the performance in the Super Bowl was scary. And we didn't do a lot to our O-line. So, I just hope big improvements on the O-line. I'm hoping.
Okay. So the Patriots are underdogs against the Seattle Seahawks. It's going to be a challenging win.
I mean, I think we could definitely win the game. I'm not gonna act like we're underdogs, but I mean, on paper, we definitely are underdogs. We're going to Seattle, but it's just gonna be a big test for our offensive line week 1. So I hope they're ready because them boys is blitzing.
Yeah. Legion of Boom is still in full effect. But it's the first game, and they feel some type of a way. So let's say they beat the Seattle Seahawks. All right, game 2 against the Pittsburgh Steelers at home.
Yeah, they could win
I
that game
have
for
the Patriots.
sure.
I have the Patriots favored.
Yeah, I have the Patriots favored in that game.
Okay, game 3, heading down to see Travis Hunter down there in Jacksonville.
Yeah,
all right, I have the Patriots favored in that one. Game 3 in Jacksonville. I think the Patriots, Jacksonville. I think Trevor Lawrence is very skilled. Travis Hunter is my dude. I wish him nothing but the best in everything he's going through. But I favor the Patriots on the road in Jacksonville. What do you think?
Yeah, I think we can definitely win in Jacksonville. I don't think Jacksonville is that dangerous.
All right. Game 4 on the road. Buffalo Bills, $2 billion of their new arena.
We're beating the Bills.
Say again?
We're beating the Bills. So, I mean, if we could just go through it like this, I'm going to say we're going to win every game. I'm just keeping it a buck.
But you feel much more confident against the Bills. You feel much more confident against the Bills at home than you do against Seattle at home. And granted, Seattle won the Super Bowl and the Bills.
We're not playing Seattle at home. We're playing Seattle in Seattle.
Yeah. I said that, we're playing Seattle at their place.
I'm more confident at Buffalo than I am in Seattle. Yes, 100%. I think Seattle's a better football team than Buffalo.
Okay. A huge divisional game. So you think the Patriots are going to go to Buffalo in their brand new multi-billion-dollar arena and get the job done?
I think they get a dub there in Buffalo. I think they get a nice. Everybody's going to think we're going to lose, and we get a nice dub.
Get that nice dub and be low.
Yeah.
Okay, next game, Raiders.
Yeah.
At home.
Yeah, we're not losing to the Raiders.
What are we doing?
We're not losing to the Raiders.
What are we doing? Raiders at home.
Yeah, that's a dub.
Okay, Raiders at home is a dub. Now, again, I'm saying that they can beat Seattle at their place first game of the season. Okay. They beat the Raiders after having gone through the gauntlet to begin the season against those Seattle Seahawks. This team is 5-0. This team is 5-0.
5-0.
You play the Raiders at home. Team that is clearly rebuilding. There's no two ways about it. They're not reloading. They're not looking to make the playoffs in an AFC West that is loaded. They're trying to learn how to win. They're not trying to make noise. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you play the Raiders at home. Speaking of getting back on your feet, next game is against the Jets at home. What do you think?
There's no way.
Okay. Jets at home. That's a 40 piece?
Yeah, we stomped the Jets, man.
Special sauce included?
I don't think the Jets have won a game.
You getting that special sauce? You getting that honey mustard?
I don't think they've won a game in New England in like 10 years.
Okay. Even though Aaron Glenn's on the hot seat.
Yeah. Well, the hot seat just got hotter because they're getting smacked.
They're burning up.
Yep.
Okay, so they're going to get smacked. Okay, so you got the Raiders.
That's an easy dub, too.
And then you have... Okay, Raiders is that easy dub. Okay. All right, Raiders. And then the Jets, another easy dub. Next game, Chicago Bears in Chicago. Caleb Williams, year 2 in Ben Johnson's system.
I mean, you know how I feel about the Madden curse. So
You think Madden's going to get him? You're going to be the Madden. You're going to be jinxed by Madden?
might be, man. That Madden curse is real sometimes. It get you.
Okay. All right. So the Madden situation. So the Patriots are going to win that game. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, next game is the Dolphins on the road down in South Beach.
I want to go to that game, so book that. That's going to be Halloween weekend. I want to go to that game. That's a dub for sure. We ain't losing that game. The Dolphins are going to. I think the Dolphins are going to go 0-16.
The Dolphins are in the March for Arch.
Yep.
March for Arch, Miami Dolphins.
I don't even think Arch goes first though.
Better quarterback than Arch Manning.
There's a few. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in college this year. So you'll see.
All right, we got some other quarterbacks. It's not Arch or the field. The field. You're saying you got something to say for the field.
Yeah, the field's the real deal this year.
Okay. All right. That leaves the Patriots at 8-0.
All right. I can see the 8-0.
Okay, so now the next 6 games is a different story. Next 6 games is a different story. Packers at home.
See, I don't think the Packers are that good.
NFC North was a 4-team race last year.
I don't think it's gonna be the same this year.
All right, Packers at home. You're leaning Patriots.
Yeah.
Okay, Lions at home. Dan Campbell, the dude.
I think Dan Campbell might be getting fired if they don't be winning games this year.
Well, so he's got pressure.
He's got pressure. It's in Detroit.
Home. Packers and Lions in Foxborough. Back to.
Yeah, I think we could beat. I think we could beat both of those teams back-to-back weeks. That's tough though. But I mean, I don't think we're going 16-0. So
Okay. I mean, right now, this team is 10-0. Chargers on the road. I got to get this art up here, man. Let me get this production. We got to get the production game going, man. What's the problem? What's the problem here? Chargers on the road.
After a bye week.
Is that a bye week? I can't. Let me see.
If it is, that could be a L.
Yeah, that is a bye week after the Lions.
Yeah, it might be. That's gonna be a tough one.
Okay, Chargers on the road after getting rest. Bills at home.
We beat the Bills usually at home, but the Bills beat us last year at home, so I think we do the same thing again this year. We beat them at their place; they beat us at our place.
All right, that's 0. So now we're talking about 10-2. Vikings at home. Thursday night game.
Yeah, we win that one.
All right.
Tyler Murray.
Not much deference for the NFC North. I think it's going to be a top division in football. Chiefs on the road.
Dub.
Ooh. Going to Kansas
The
City.
Chiefs don't have. I mean, they don't have Mahomes this year.
He's back, man.
Oh, Mahomes is back.
He's in training camp. He's practicing.
I don't know if he can be the same, man.
Might not be the same, but he's in the building. He's in the building.
He's in the Billy. Okay. I thought they was running out Justin Fields, man. I thought they was running out Justin Fields, man.
He's in the building. Okay. KC at their place. You got him. You got it as a dub. Jets at their place.
We haven't lost we're not losing to the Jets in any facet.
Okay. Broncos at home.
That's gonna be a tough one.
All right. It's in Foxborough.
That's gonna be a tough one.
All right. Gonna be a tough one. Okay. A game that might decide home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Last game, Dolphins at home.
Dub City. So, yeah, Dub City, man.
So you're seeing danger game 16 against the Broncos. 16 against the Broncos. Game 10 against the Chargers at their place off of a bye.
Up and by LA.
And then game 1 against the Seahawks. The only time I detected danger or some sort of challenge in your voice.
Yeah. Those games gives me just a little danger. We ain't going. I don't think we're going 16-0, but
Bro, you seem to feel like this team can win 13, 14 games.
I do feel like this team can win a lot of games this year. I feel like this team can win a lot of games this year. I really do. Drake May is gonna be a year better. It just comes down to our offensive line. And if our offensive line plays well, we'll win a lot of games. If they don't, we're gonna be losing games. We're gonna lose games.
All right, Will Campbell had a strong rookie year. You know, I'm hearing rumblings that, you know, folks believe in the offensive line.
All right, well, they've been winning a lot of games though.
Mm-hmm.
I think Drake May plays. MVP conversation.
Again, he was in the MVP conversation last year. He's back in the MVP conversation.
Back in it, but higher.
Okay, what about AJ Brown?
AJ Brown is gonna have a good year.
Not a breakout season?
I think he has we have a lot of receivers, so he's gonna have a good year.
Last I checked, they didn't bring back Stephon Diggs.
What? Yeah, Stephon Diggs is not. He's not on the team. Stephon Diggs is not on a team.
Are they going to bring him back? I mean, who are these other receivers?
They have good receivers. Good core. A great core, actually. I like the Pats receiving core this year.
Okay. Bro, I don't continually play people ranked in the top 10 in Madden worldwide. So you're gonna have to give me a little bit of who are these other receivers that I'm missing besides AJ Brown when you don't bring back a Stephon Diggs.
Bote, I don't know if I said his last name right. Keyshawn Bote from LSU. He's a beast. That's Drake May's favorite receiver right there.
Okay. You know when you're talking about when you're talking about Louisiana, you're talking about You talk about the Treme.
Receiver, you.
Okay, you speaking my language. All right, who else?
Hey, do you watch Lioness?
I don't. What
Great show.
platform? What
Paramount.
platform is that?
Paramount.
Lioness. All right, I got to get into it.
It's got three seasons. Third one just started.
I gotta pick that. I gotta pick that up.
I definitely think you would like it. It's a good show.
So this young man from LSU, he's gonna replace Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs cooked last year.
He did. At points. I might say he cooked all year, but he did. He cooked.
He
I
was
feel like
cooking.
he just brought a little too much attention to himself.
He did bring some attention, but I think that matter got dismissed in terms of the home chef.
Yeah, but just I don't know. I don't
Yeah, there's some other stuff that's out there. There's attention around him, but he hasn't. I mean, he's got a celebrity girlfriend, and he lives. He's a celebrity that leans into his celebrity. He hasn't gotten in trouble.
Yeah.
People, there's rumblings here and there, but I haven't seen any affidavits. I haven't heard about any probable cause. So he's innocent until proven guilty. I don't know why he's not on the team, is my point.
Because we don't need him on the team.
You don't need somebody that can get out there and cook?
You have A.J. Brown. What you talk about?
They just got A.J. Brown.
I know.
If A.J. Brown is good,
why,
I mean, why not partner him with Stephon Diggs? Why not have both?
No. You don't need that. You don't need two alpha egos like that in the locker room.
You saying that's nitroglycerin and gasoline?
Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
You putting the nitroglycerin with the gasoline? He said that he said you don't need no two isos. That's some nitro. Hey, I'm trying to get it popping. I'm trying to get this head thing cooking. Hold on. That's weird. It's so loud. It's supposed to be loud, but we like 20 decimals. Was that too loud? I mean, I don't. They be saying I gotta watch my sound design. I understand that. But your boy, I'm not happy with just AJ. I need some AJ and Stephon. What? I need both. What are we doing? Both said no. That's. You're not for Diggs and AJ Brown on the same roster in the same locker room.
Heck no.
Yeah, that's too many divas. That's too many divas in one space.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work, man.
Okay. I want all the ingredients in my gumbo. I want the linguiça. I want the sausage, carrots, chicken, pork. Throw it all up in there and that good.
No pork for me, man. No pork.
Well, you on a healthy kick. One of us gets up early and hits the gym, and one of us doesn't. I ain't saying no names though, but it's not me. One of us is up early and hitting the gym, and one of us needs to get up and do his push-ups and sit-ups.
I've been slacking on my pippin.
I'm not saying who it is that's doing it, but I know it's not me. Okay. So, bro, if the Patriots win 13, 14 games, I think they have to be the number one seed in the AFC.
I think we are the number one seed this year.
I'm looking at their schedule, and like their schedule is more amenable. What I mean by that is, I checked the Bills' schedule, man. The Bills, they got to play the Ravens instead of the Steelers. That's a big step up in degrees. Going up against Lamar Jackson, trying to still win a championship versus Aaron Rodgers, getting ready for his AARP years. Buffalo's got to play the Rams. I mean, that's the equivalent, we got to play the Pats got to play the Seahawks. They got to play the Rams. That's going to be a tough out. Have to play Denver, have to play both teams are matching up against the AFC West. So you got your Denvers, you got your Kansas Cities, you got your Chargers. What I'm getting at is, if the Patriots have home field advantage, are they going back to the Super Bowl?
I think we can get there. I think we can make it back.
If the Patriots have home field advantage, are they returning to the Super Bowl?
Yeah. If we can win home field, we definitely going back to the Super Bowl.
Okay. Because for me, I think the AFC North takes a step back. The Browns are the Browns. The Steelers have a new regime. The Ravens have a new regime. Maybe more talented, but still a new regime. And Cincinnati, I just don't know until I know. Joe Burrow, when he's not healthy, he goes to the Super Bowl. He hasn't been healthy since he went to the Super Bowl. So I don't know till I know. The AFC South, okay, battle of the basement. Tennessee Titans, building. Indianapolis Colts, okay, can they build off what they did last year? They surprised people. They toted the rock. Is it going to be a sophomore slump? I don't know, but I'm not putting too many eggs in that basket. Jacksonville Jaguars, I rock with Trevor Lawrence. I rock with Travis Hunter. I have to see it. They haven't proven it. Okay, and the Texans, C.J. Stroud had the breakout freshman season, rookie season, sophomore slump. Patriots got them up out of there last year. I believe in D'Amico Ryan, but, these teams remind me of the Memphis Grizzlies. The Desmond Bain, Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr. Memphis Grizzlies. Okay, they you know what I mean. They got the butter, they got the grits. Okay, they got the gravy, they got the bacon, they got the home fry. You know what I mean. But okay, it ain't coming together. You got all the ingredients, but it doesn't come together for that slam and jam and meal that it should be. Right? Until I see it, I can't give it to you. Then we go to the AFC West, where you have adults. Denver Broncos, Sean Payton, Walton Money. If Bo Nix doesn't get hurt, who knows what happens last year? But they're ready. John Harbaugh, Jim, with his khaki pants, okay, and his old school ways, they're ready. And Kansas City, it's the last, it's the last stand at the OK Corral, or remember the Alamo. Kansas City's holding on for dear life. Travis Kelce, married, power couple, yada, yada, yada. But they're holding on. Frankly.
It might be done. We'll see what KC does this year. They're holding on for dear life. That's correct.
Yeah, they're holding on. So I think you have the Patriots, you have the Bills. I'm still sticking with the Bills, even though it's a new coach, a new regime. I just feel you did, Josh Allen. And now, bro, did I just show favoritism there? Did I just show favoritism? Because Josh Allen also has a new coach and a new regime. But I said Lamar Jackson, with his new coach and new regime, could take a step back. I didn't say the same thing for Josh Allen and the Bills. So is that favoritism? Right? Sean McDermott's up out of there. John Harbaugh's up out of there. Two long-standing coaches. Right? Tough, gritty, loyal to the soil. Right? Built for that city. John Harbaugh built for Be More. You understand? Be More. Home of David Simon, Holman of Wire. Shout out to Saving Etten Street documentary. I got a chance to meet the director at the Woods Home Film Festival. Check it out. Saving Etten Street. We'll get that graphic on the screen for you. But that's Be More right there. Okay? And then Sean McDermott, the Frozen North, Buffalo out there. Macho Man Randy Savaging those innocent tables for, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Right? Two proud, strong, blue-collar cities. Those coaches were built for them, and they did. Now, fortunate to have a Bills fan jump in the chat last episode. He says McDermott should have been fired after the 13-second debacle against Kansas City. He was ready to get him up out of there. So I was like, man, He said the Bills should have won a Super Bowl in 2021, period. That gave me a whole nother perspective. I didn't see it that way. I just saw it as another chip from Mahomes. But Bills fans still salty about that. He put that 2021 disaster up against the 1991 Scott Norwood missed field goal, which is maybe the greatest miss in NFL history. He put him in the same breath. So I was like, man. So, there's people in Buffalo that, have been clamoring for regime change. Even, so me from a distance, how I get down. Tibbs, my coach, I'm staying pat. Unless, I'm going to, and maybe I'll stay a year too late after somebody's lost their fastball, but I'm staying with what we have. I'm a, you know what I mean, a Rooney type of a person. We staying pat with what we have, our culture, so on and forth. Maybe you stay too long with something. But I did just show favoritism if I said that the Ravens could take a step back and the Steelers could take a step back, but the Bills, won't take a step back. They could. So let's so you have the Patriots who have continuity, you have the Broncos who have continuity, you got the Chargers who have continuity, and you got the Chiefs. Is that your top four?
Mm-hmm.
Patriots, Broncos, so it's one team from the AFC East, and then your AFC West powerhouses, and then the Raiders over there, just getting the brakes beat off of them, and learning by losing, in arguably the strongest division in football. Look, I like Drake May. I've always been a Drake May fan. People said Jaden Daniels. I respect what Jaden Daniels did his rookie year. I hope he comes back stronger his third year after having to play competition last year after he came out fast out of the box. By the way, Drake May is in the same situation that Jaden Daniels was in year 2. Now Drake May's got to play increased competition. I'm a Drake May guy. I think he's built for it. Out of college, it was Caleb and Drake. And then Jaden Daniels came into the conversation, won the Heisman later. But I've always, he's been the golden child. So I like the pick. It was chaos the first year with Gerard Mayo. Vrabel comes in. He brings stability. He brings enthusiasm. Josh McDaniels, strong offensive coordinator. I thought Freddie Kitchens was not a bad OC that Mayo had brought in. I thought he could do the job. Josh McDaniels more experienced. I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Bro, if you got to jump off, man, I'm happy. I'm happy to have you. If you want to take the conversation in any particular direction, you know what time it is. You let me know. We'll go in that direction. But we're talking football, and you're the Madden guy, so I gotta ask my questions.
Madden comes out what, tomorrow? Or no,
gotta ask my questions when you're in the building. Okay. So I feel the Patriots' stronger schedule. I feel that they're gonna be built for. I think they'll. But you're talking about 13 or 14 wins. I see it maybe more like 11, 12. I think the NFC North is going to be tough. I think Buffalo is going to be, I don't know, maybe because they Randy Savage, maybe that's why I feel differently about them. You know what I mean? Any organization that's going to jump off the top ropes in freezing cold weather, on unsuspecting tables, I got to feel differently. I don't think I'm wrong for that. Okay? Hold on. Yeah. We got to stop that. I'm just getting my graphics up here, bro.
Okay.
Shout out to the Macho Man, Randy Savage. Shout out to the awesome 80s.
Shout out to the Randys of the world.
I mean, you see how they doing in Buffalo, bro? They're coming off the top rope in the freezing cold, man.
Man.
They off the top rope like this, man. I have to look at them differently. I got to do it. I think they're going to be in the conversation. So instead of a Fantastic Four, we got a Fab Five. We got a Fab Five. We got the semifinals. In the Summer League. Next Tuesday, Villains and Killer Bees. Nothing free versus why not us. Summer League's been good, man. I appreciate when you came down when you was around for the summer. You came and helped out the men's league team. Gave us quality minutes.
Man, I've been in my retirement since I've been in retirement since I haven't. I don't think I've played basketball maybe once in the past 2 or 3 years. I'm enjoying my retirement, but I need more cardio, so I miss it. But after that Achilles injury, I ain't rushing back like Tatum. I'm taking my time, being patient,
Yep,
assessing,
yep.
like Odysseus. Might be 10 years.
Speaking of which, bro, I gotta ask. You're not the first person that spoke very well of the Odyssey.
Wow, I saw it twice. Took mom's the second time, and man, the second time was better.
We're gonna come back. But this is something that I mean I know I did. So I imagine you had to read this in school as well.
Yep, we read it. We read it in school. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna. I probably didn't read it because I didn't do much schoolwork when I was
I keep it a buck.
when I was a BHS student. I didn't do much schoolwork. Did a lot of partying and a little schoolwork. But yeah, we definitely had assignments on it, and I probably watched the movie too, the first original.
You watched that original.
Yep, I watched the
Okay,
original.
but you're not the first. Everyone that I've spoken to, my college guys, they said you got to
It's one of
see
the best
this.
movies I've seen in theaters, and in a very in it's top five. Like it might like it was like captivating like The Dark Knight, but it was. I mean, Matt, he went crazy, yo. He went crazy. I mean, it was just a great. It was great. And you saw it. I saw it. We saw it in a like a big screen, and it was real loud. It I mean, I can't. I want to go see it in 70 mm, but it sold out
Uh huh.
until freaking. I don't even. We got a 70 mm movie theater out here, but it sold out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
Sold
sold out.
out theater late night.
I mean, they got. Let me tell you. I'm looking right now. Hold on.
I got to give a quick shout out. They be doing advanced stats now.
All right, hold on one second. So they got the Odyssey 70 IMAX 70 mm 945. Oh shoot, there is one good seat.
Got one good seat remaining.
Yeah, there's two seats, but it's in the middle. It's in the front. You can't go
So
see it in the front.
Is Matt Damon pride of the Commonwealth out of Boston? Does he
Where's
give an
Matt Damon
Oscar worthy
from?
performance?
Oh man, he better win something. If you don't win something, I'm not doing nothing to do with none of that no more.
If Matt Damon don't get something, you're out.
I'm out.
He said if Matt Damon doesn't win something, he's out. Yeah, it's time for Matty D to get back up there on the Oscar stage. I go back to my formative years, Good Will Hunting, best original screenplay. Him and Ben Affleck launched their careers. You know what I mean? If you want better, do better. If you
Dre, I
want.
might be on. I might just go do this right now. 9:45.
Oh, Big Mike. I see Big Mike joined for a quick minute. Big Mike joined for a quick minute on the IG. Appreciate you, Mike. And for those that are kind of wondering on Facebook, because Facebook is just me, like we're trying to do the show, but it's just me talking, so it's not really much of a show. It's just you can't really see the conversation. But I kept getting booted. That's why the Facebook Live is just me talking, which is not very interesting. Well, I don't know how interesting it is or not. But I'm trying to figure a way to get the Facebook and not get kicked off. So the good part is it's been over 2 hours and I haven't been kicked off. and you can see what I'm saying, but you can't see the other people that I'm, so it's not visually great. And I will take that criticism for anybody who's had it. You just see me kind of talking and having a conversation. You're like, who the heck is this person talking to? I'm doing the pod, but I can't stream the pod through because I get kicked off. So I'm glad I haven't got kicked off. I'm not glad that it's not as visually appealing as it oughtn't be. But Twitch is going strong. Twitter is going strong. IG is in the building.
Well, I didn't know
and YouTube, we still rocking. A couple different, one of the chats is working, one of the chats is not working on the YouTube. But we still rocking. People can jump in, get their comments up on the screen. Appreciate Chris and what he bringing to the table. Don't see anything new. Just refresh it, make sure I ain't miss anything.
Yeah, that movie though, man, I'm telling you.
So we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it when the Oscars comes around.
If it don't win something in the Oscars, I'm never watching the Oscars again. I'm good.
We're gonna have to boycott
forever.
The boycott is on if the Odyssey doesn't bring home a couple different Oscars. Okay. All right.
We went and saw the movie and didn't get out of the movie until 3 a.m. Okay. The movie theater has been so busy they couldn't even keep up. The movie started, I think, 40 minutes late. All right.
Wow. So many people were in there?
They had to clean the theater.
Okay. Yowzers.
So it is not a game.
Okay, not a game. Yep, I got you. Yeah, we're good. We're good here across the board on our platforms. Again, the Facebook, it's a little bit different. Had to work out some technical difficulties, get everything plugged in, make sure we have enough power. So it was a little bit choppy to start with, but I think that's been worked out. Now that we fully powered up. It's always something, so I learned my lesson there. Okay, shout out to the Odyssey. Mark it down. Mark it down on your calendars. I gotta ask, bro. Have you seen a better film? Have you seen a better film than the Odyssey so far this year? Is that the best?
No. Oh, I've seen some great films this year. Okay. So this has been a great. This has been, I'm gonna say, probably the best year for film in the past maybe 10, 15 years, just in terms of how much I've been going to the movies. I've been going to the movies a lot. All right. I saw Obsession.
You've been seeing a couple good films. Okay, break it down.
I saw Obsessions in theaters. Great. I saw Backrooms in theaters. Didn't understand it until I realized it had a backstory. And then it got a little better because I understood it a little more. Now, those two movies were awesome. And then this movie was, probably one of the best movies I've ever seen in theaters. And then I did see Steven Spielberg's film. I thought that was the worst movie I saw all year.
Disclosure
Day? Disclosure Day was the worst movie I saw all year. It's just because I went into it with the mindset of like this. It's about to be like Independence Day.
Yeah,
it's about to be the new age Independence Day.
Jurassic Park.
I was wrong. It was nothing like that. Yeah, it was nothing like that.
What was it about? What was it like?
It was just whack, lackluster. It was just whack, man. I didn't like it. It just didn't.
It didn't
do it.
Didn't jump off the screen.
Didn't do it for me, man.
So you're saying Steven Spielberg might have lost the fastball.
He might have lost his touch, man, because that movie did not.
I
I mean,
mean,
he was
'cause, I
like
mean,
everybody. They put a lot of marketing into it, and it just wasn't that good, man. It wasn't that good. I was like, oh, I was disappointed. Yeah,
talking about Steven Spielberg, of course, of E.T. fame and
That's what it was, man. That's what it was.
Jurassic Park.
It was like ET. It really was like just ET with a twist. All it was, yeah, that's what it was. Now that I was trying to think of what movie it was ET with a twist.
E.T. with a twist.
ET with a twist. But I'm
Okay, so what's your
upset. I'm
top
gonna go
three?
see Toy Story.
Toy Story what? 7 is coming out? 6?
5 is out in theaters right now.
Toy Story 5? I
Toy Story
love
5.
Toy Story. I think I dropped off after 2, so I got some catching up. But Toy Story is
5 is
awesome.
out.
Always gonna rock with Toy Story.
And then the Invite with Seth Rogen, I want to see too.
Okay, what's the top 3?
Right now, I want to see. Well, I saw Spider-Man. Spider-Man was good. I want to see the Invite.
Spider-Man, good.
I want to see
It's good, meaning that's your number. That's number 1.
What?
What's your Spider-Man? You don't have to give me a, because it's difficult to rank films.
What, Odyssey versus Spider-Man? It's different, but Odyssey was better than Spider-Man. Come on now. Odyssey is probably one of the best films I've ever seen in theaters. I just told you.
Wow.
It was that captivating. I was sitting up in my seat like I was playing video games. The first time, like when Lenidra and I, first time we saw it, we were so just blown away. Like, wow. Like,
okay.
Wow.
You're saying this film was captivating.
Captivating. It doesn't even do it justice. It just the way it was filmed. I mean, the movie was so captivating. It had me listening to the damn songs after composers. All right. Like, I got the songs on my phone from the movie Odyssey. All right.
You had to jump into the soundtrack.
I jumped into this. Like, look at this. I got the soundtrack on my phone. All right.
They had you going to Google up the soundtrack.
I'm feeling this right now. All right. Like, I'm there. You know,
you're on the boat.
I'm strapped to the boat.
You're in the storm.
I'm strapped to the boat. All right. You know what I'm saying? I can
you see the sirens. You see the sirens coming.
Yep. I can feel it. You know what I'm saying? And then it comes, and then it's like, man, like, you just feel it, man.
All right.
I just be doing monologues now, just to the Odyssey soundtrack.
Facebook community, we're talking about films, the Odyssey. I know you can't see it. I apologize in advance. I gotta figure out how to get my graphics up here on the Facebook, on the screen. You saw one problem and then another one. I can see all these different things. I got to create this and that and the third, but
I'm telling you, I will go to a Odyssey orchestra so quick.
You
know, there's
here's an important comparison. How would you compare the Odyssey to the plays at Barnstable High School, the drama club plays that you were able to participate in, where they had crazy effects and, brought an actual horse onto the stage and everything else like that?
I mean, I think that's why I almost enjoyed it so much, is because, like, I started paying attention to little details. And like when I'm watching a movie, yes, like you know, I was so captivated into that story that I was paying attention to like the little details, and that's where it's just a great movie, man. I think that ranks right there. I mean, and Dark Knight probably is one of my favorite movies. I'm ready to go see Odyssey again in theaters. Okay, they owe me some money because that's almost $60 in movie tickets. I'm contributing to the Oscar
$60
fund. Okay, they better
contribution.
win.
They better win.
That's a $60 donation to the Odyssey. Better win an Oscar because wow, that's his best performance. I don't care what anybody says.
Matt Damon's best performance?
Matt Damon's best performance, yes,
Better than Good Will Hunting.
better than Good Will Hunting,
Better than The Bourne Identity.
better than The Bourne Identity, and he crushed the Bourne. Oh my goodness, Bourne Identity was the first one was fire. The first one's the reason why there was 10.
Better than The Departed.
Better than any role he's ever played. Odysseus crushed it. Yeah. So
This is
I mean, this is people are saying this is like the golden age of like film is back, and
gotta
the
see this film
and
now,
the
man.
youths
I
are the ones
haven't.
in the theaters.
You know, I've been like a grumpy younger old man. I don't watch all these great series. I don't go to the movies. You know,
Yeah,
I go to Caitlin
you gotta
games.
stop rewatching series, and you gotta.
I'm tuned in, man. I'm locked into The Sopranos and The Wire, like it's 05 or something.
No, you can't just keep.
I can't live 20 years in the past. I have to enter the modern society.
You have to enter modern society, man.
What the heck is going on here?
If you could do this, then I mean, you do this on film. There's a lot more. The films right now are off the chain. Like this, I could probably sit and talk to you about the Odyssey for 3 hours. We could just break down the whole damn movie because it was so good.
Saw it twice and thinking about a third viewing.
Oh, I'm going 70 mm. I'm seeing it. I'm just debating. I might just say F it and go see it at 9:45. 70 mm first row. But see, that's the thing. First row. I don't want to sit no first row.
Yeah, you got to be sit back a little bit to give you.
I'll do it if I have to, but I don't want to sit no first row.
I think when we went to see Titanic, we sat in the first row. Place was packed.
Yep.
I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I think I remember sitting in the first row. About a long movie Titanic. My hair hurt after.
Yeah, because you gotta sit differently.
Oh, we did see Titanic in theaters. Okay, now I remember. I mean, we've always been going to movies, whole lives. We've definitely been doing movies. I mean, drive-ins, movies.
Yes, indeed. I remember formative years. So, this is a rave review for the Odyssey. Did you see Michael?
No, unfortunately.
I heard.
I heard it was great. I unfortunately didn't see it. So, damn, completely sold out.
Yes, indeed.
See, that's crazy. Just completely sold out. Whole theater, not a seat open. $1:30 a.m. completely sold out.
Shout out to the Southwest where you guys have 1:30 a.m. showings of movies.
Yeah, Andre, it's made for you, man.
That is right up my alley. You would receive a violation from the town of Barnstable for that. That's a half an hour past the curfew.
That's terrible. That curfew is terrible. I mean, yeah, it's terrible. As I said, we got home at 3:30 that night
That's a good night.
after seeing Odyssey, and I was like, I couldn't sleep. I was up. I was like hype.
Oh, goodness. Let's see this. Clown in the 49 is some stuff in the chat. All right, so the Odyssey must-see film. And I have to shift gears. Speaking of another great film.
What?
Saw this the other day. Going back to when you were coming up through the ranks early in your grammar school years. A little bit young for this film when it first came out. We're talking about 1994, so you were just starting off in school. I was in 5th or 6th grade. But The Shawshank Redemption, based on the book by Stephen King. Everybody knows this. $5,000 check. That's all he charged them. $5,000.
Who?
Is what Stephen King charged for the rights to his book, Rita Hayworth and The Shawshank Redemption.
Wow.
Never cashed the check. Sent it back to Frank Darabont. In case you ever need bail money. Folks, another example right here, Shawshank Redemption. Not a box office smash hit when it was in theaters. This was, in my view, the greatest year in Oscar history for films, which The Shawshank Redemption was shut out of, which in the scope of time, I think it was the strongest film. But you had The Shawshank Redemption, Forrest Gump, Pulp Fiction, you can throw in Jurassic Park, all in the same year. Absolutely wild. That year they gave everything, including the kitchen sink, to Forrest Gump, and Pulp Fiction, Shawshank Redemption, essentially left out. Yeah, what the other films that year, like The Lion King, was wild. But for me, it was Shawshank. It was Pulp Fiction, and it was Forrest Gump. And I think, again, this is when people went to the movies before the streaming revolution. This is when people went to Blockbuster Video. Shout out to Blockbuster Video. I think there's one left in Alaska.
Blockbuster, man.
You know, so it was a different time. It was, and again, you know, things are going to change, and things are going to change in, 3 decades. Let me see. I can't get the graphic. I have to come back and. Oh my goodness! Hoop Dreams also 94. It's too much. Okay, so Odyssey up there, Michael Jackson movie, Also up there, let's go around the world and see how people are doing in the chat. I think we're about ready for Slice of Life. SandCity had an action-packed episode. Just make sure I don't have anything further.
Yeah, Obama's on the Cape celebrating his birthday.
He's over on MV.
Yep.
He's over on MV for the African American Film Festival.
Yep, 65th.
That's why it's good to pays to be over there. Shout out to Martha's Vineyard. Shout out to the African American Film Festival. Okay. Let me just power through and make sure that we hit all the top. Oh no, we got one more thing we got to discuss. I'm glad I thought twice about it. We got one more thing that we need to discuss, most definitely. And it's going to be a respectful conversation, and it's going to be, but we got to discuss this. We got to. Okay, so let me get the art right. All right, we're going over to the WNBA. That's right, the WNBA. Shout out to Shawshank Redemption. Shout out to the Odyssey. Quality filmmaking, art in its highest form. Hey, folks, hey, you gotta go get it. I know you're tired, your schedule, you're 9 to 5, all this and that, but we have to do the things that put wind in our sails, smiles on our faces, bring us together, right? We have to celebrate the arts. We have to do our individual art, whatever the case may be. You can probably tell 2 hours and 27 minutes in, your boy, the Cape Cod Kid, at least thinks he has the gift for gab. I might have it, I might not. That's for you to decide. But, communication, conversation, analysis, these are all things that are up my alley. That's the foundation for this project. You know what I mean? And so we just keep it moving and grooving from there. But you might be graphic design, you might be actual art. Shout out to Bob Ross, the great. But go out there, pursue it, do it, live it, love it. And I say all those things because the Shawshank Redemption is the crystalline example of that. Okay. Stephen King deserves $5 million annually for this film. It's one of the great films in history that was shut out in that 94 year. But Hoop Dreams, one of the greatest documentaries ever made, shut out. Okay. Roger Ebert, who knows a thing or two about film, and not just because that film happened to be set in Chicago where Roger Ebert was embedded, but Roger Ebert knows a thing or two about film, called it the best film of the year. That's Hoop Dreams. Oscar said, we're good. The Scope of Time that film has lived on and impacted. I can't even understand. I don't even know what the best documentaries were in 1994. I'm sure they were great films. All right, but none of them penetrated the culture like Hoop Dreams. So I think that means something. Same thing for The Wire. Shut out from the Emmys. Sopranos winning every single year and deservedly so. So The Wire right after The Sopranos, crickets. Okay, in the Scope of Time. All right, those two are 1A, but on many people's lists as the greatest films of all time. One was lauded, praised, celebrated. The other, radio silence for the most part. I mean, people knew it. People followed it. That's why we got the 4th and 5th season. Season 4 is many people's favorite season of The Wire. Bro, do you feel that way?
What, season 4?
Is season 4 your favorite season of The Wire?
Yeah. Or 5.
Season 5 was the paper.
No. Then maybe 6. Then.
Season 4 was the schools.
6.
Season 3 was City Hall.
Mm-mm.
Season 2 was the Ports. Season 1 was West Baltimore.
It was only 5 seasons.
5 seasons. West
So,
Baltimore centered around Avon Barksdale. The
yeah.
Ports centered around Frank Sabatka. City Hall centered on Thomas Carcetti. The Schools, season 4 was really about Marlowe. Marlowe taking the crown.
Yeah, that's where I like Marlo. Yeah, 4 season 4.
Then also the Schools, those storylines,
Were cool too.
Naaman, Michael, Duquan, Randy, right? Season 4, looking at the roots. Where do you get an Avon Barksdale? Where does Marlowe Stanfield come from? They don't. Right? There's a process to this, right? Right.
Yep.
So you're season 4.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm season 2. But yeah, Marlowe, he's one of the most powerful characters. Now, somebody compared me to I never got into Power. You. I'm not speaking for you, but did you get into Power?
Power was good.
Power was solid.
Yeah.
Like if somebody made a reference in I don't know what the heck they were talking about. I said I got to get up on that. But they made a reference to Power, and I said I don't know what that you're talking about. But Marlowe Stanfield, just tour de force amongst the many characters that capture your imagination. So that's clearly Marlowe. And Chris Partlow, the Enforcer. You got Marlowe, Chris. I'm forgetting. How can I forget her name? I'm having an AARP moment. This is not good. Snoop. Can't forget Snoop. In terms of the triumvirate, Marlowe's crew. Who would you compare Marlowe to in Game of Thrones?
Jon Snow.
I would compare Marlowe to Joffrey Lannister. That's not. No. That's the wrong Lannister. I'm sorry, because Joffrey was incompetent and just cruel. Right? Joffrey's primary character trait was incompetence. He was not ready to. He was a token king who thought he was an actual king, and was nowhere near ready to have that. Right? But his last name was Lannister, so they gave him the role, even though, he was nowhere near ready for it. His actual, you know what I mean? If it was Cersei's or if it was Jaime, okay. But Joffrey was a child, or an adolescent. So an adolescent is not the person you want to be the ruler of the 7 kingdoms. So he was incompetent and masked that incompetence with cruelty. So I can't compare, because Marlowe was very competent. Marlowe was, an excellent strategist and someone who could execute his strategy. No pun intended. I would compare Marlowe to Tywin Lannister, the father. Yeah, Marlowe's. I think he was wise beyond his years. And no less cruel at times. That's why I don't like Marlowe, because Marlowe didn't draw the line with civilians and soldiers. Marlowe attacked anybody, so that's why he is not my favorite character. But I thought that was important that they showed those characteristics that made him who he was, because there was a difference between a Marlowe and an Avon Barksdale. Avon Barksdale respected things like the Sunday Truce. Marlowe Stanfield had no time for these honorary type of rules. Marlowe only believed in force and power.
Yep.
But those rules, those codes were not weakness. They were actually strength, because you showed that you had a line. There were certain things that you wouldn't do, which made you more relatable, and people could, even though they didn't agree with a majority of what you did, they could see some of the good, like the Sunday Truce, that came from a very dangerous and destructive enterprise. But it did produce some. Talk about the East-West basketball game, Prop Joe and Avon. You know what I mean? It produced some good. Marlowe didn't have time for that. It was all about force and just conquest. So, but you know what I mean? I was thinking about it. I saw a statistic. Genghis Khan conquered so much territory and took over so much. The temperature of the globe dropped. And when I say conquered, I mean killed. He wiped out so many people that your forestation grew based on his conquest, just wiping out civilizations and then forests growing up in their place. The temperature on the planet dropped. Right? But and Genghis Khan is, you ever seen the statistics of the richest people who ever lived? You know who the two people at the top of the list are? I gave you one, Genghis Khan. You want to have any guess of who the other is? And this goes back to our history books and what we're not taught. They say the richest person who ever lived, Mansa Musa.
Yeah, the African king.
African king.
Yep.
They didn't teach us that in history class.
No.
We learned about Genghis Khan, who's on the list. We learned about the British Empire. We learned about the Rockefellers, who are way down the list, actually. We ain't learned about no Mansa Musa, who people say had the wealthiest man in human history. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about Marlowe Stanfield and how ruthless he was. When we think about it, Alexander the Great, he wasn't sparing too many people either. Okay, so I still can't stand Marlowe. But he had traits that some of the most powerful people in human history had. So Marlowe was the king, and Mr. Partlow there was his sword. And as Snoop said, Marlowe said, the split is 60-40. You want better? You can tool up and have Chris, Snoop, and my people pay a call on your people. And what did Snoop say? And we're going to be brief with all y'all. I think you know. Snoop said, we're going to be brief with all y'all. I think you know. That man said, I'll take the 60-40 split and keep it moving. He ain't want that smoke. Shout out to Marlowe. As I see, I'm I favor Avon more. I'm an Avon.
You gotta get on some new shows, man.
Okay, you said Lioness. There's another one. I got a couple I got to get on. Lioness. But bro, this is the greatest show of all time, by many indicate. But I know I got to change with the time. It's been 20 years. But this is one of the greatest. This is the greatest.
Can't keep watching the same show, man.
All right, true. That's true. That's facts. Okay. Avon, Stringer. I couldn't rock with Stringer after what happened with Michael. But you know, look at what happened with D'Angelo and Avon. Avon had to let that go too. So, you know, they brought it home. This game is fierce. It's fierce. But that being said, the redeeming quality for Avon is the Sunday truce. You can't. Sunday truce is as old as the game itself. So we gotta be mindful of the Sunday truce. Shout out to the Wire. Shout out to some of the most powerful characters that we've seen. Forget why I came over here. A couple other characters. I gotta ask, bro, while we're talking. We just mentioned this dude. There he is. There he is, folks. Can't stand him. I can't stand Joffrey.
Yeah, Joffrey's pretty annoying, man.
You said one of your favorite characters was Tyrion?
Yeah, he was cool.
Smart. Advisor.
Very smart.
Yeah. Yeah, that Joffrey, man, stone cold. It's crazy, the theory to make a throne out of the swords. It would have to be your enemies, out of the swords of your enemies. I don't know if you'd make your own. The Iron Throne. Shout out to Game of Thrones. Shout out to David Benioff. Can't stand Joffrey. I got to get your thoughts, though. You have any thoughts on any other Game of Thrones characters?
No.
Okay, we're going to keep it moving. I rock with Gustavo. That's my dude. I rock with Gustavo from Breaking Bad. And Don Ilario.
Yep.
Don Ilario was cool too. He didn't, but Gustavo, I felt a little bit, I felt like he was a little bit more relatable. Any Breaking Bad takes?
Great show. I haven't watched Breaking Bad in a minute. I've watched all these other shows.
You're watching the shows that are currently on rather than shows that went off the air 10 years ago.
Yep. Those shows. I have plenty of time to watch those shows that have been off the air for 10 years.
Right. I'm still watching the shows that are a decade old, so I got to get up with the times. Del, Ozarks. Del wasn't playing no games, man.
Del was not playing no games.
Del was not playing no doggone games, man. Listen. I think the first episode of Ozarks might be the best first episode of any series.
Yeah, definitely.
The first episode of Ozarks was, that got me. I was like, what? That first episode was action-packed.
Yeah, they turned it up.
Yeah. I don't know, like Ozarks, I haven't seen as much, like all of the seasons. You've seen all the seasons. It kind of lost me. I got to go back, you know what I mean? But doggone it, that first episode, I was like, what? I was like, what the heck is going on? This man was going through his go-through. He gets a call in the middle of the night. Dude's like, Del wants to see you. I said, Del? I thought he was talking about like some accountant. Some guy, spectacles, pants, 4 inches above the navel, high socks. Said, Del wants to see you. Thought it was some just Poindexter. That man, Del Rio. He said, where is my $5 million? You got my money? He said, what money? He said, you got my money? He said, I don't know what you're talking about. Del was like, you don't? Oh, my goodness. That first episode was bananas. Can you, again, Breaking Bad first episode went hard too. There's certain series. Game of Thrones, I watched the first episode like 2 or 3 times. And I got frustrated because again I don't have the patience like you, bro, to actually give something the time it needs to get into some greatness. I watched the first episode of Game of Thrones. I couldn't understand. You had blue people in the woods. People are talking with a crazy accent. I was like, what is going on? I left, man. I left.
That's crazy. You gotta give.
Then when I finally watched the first like couple 3 episodes, I was like, it's amazing. And then I was in. But Ozarks, man, that first episode, that Del Rio, oh my goodness. That whoosh, whoosh. And shout out to Mr. Bateman there. Again, speaking of doing your own thing, putting yourself on. Ozarks. Nothing but good things I've heard about Michael. So I got to see it when it comes out. I'm a huge Antoine Fuqua fan.
Okay.
Antoine's my dude, so anytime he does a project, Antoine Fuqua, obviously of Training Day fame. And then Brooklyn's Finest, which I don't think people appreciate nearly enough. If you like Training Day and you haven't seen Brooklyn's Finest, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. So, and then he's done other things. He did a couple films with Jake. I think he did Southpaw. A couple things with Jake Gyllenhaal. So, I certainly rock with Michael. Okay, and I gotta get my graphic here. Hold on. I came up here. Yeah, I think I came up here for the wire takes. Yeah. Okay, folks, one last sports topic that we got to get to, and we're not gonna surround this topic. Okay, I'm telling you right now, we're not gonna surround it unless I know my bro. He's very busy. He's got he's doing his thing. He's got work, family, so on and forth. Not that I but he's so stay as long as you want. But we got to talk about the situation on the court surrounding Sophie Cunningham. I know there's a further conversation about women's sports that we're not going to center on right now. I'm not going to center on that conversation right here. But we're going to talk about what the actual basketball side of it. And she did get bowed. She got bowed, which you can see. Hard foul. And so I just wanted to discuss the basketball side of it in terms of Sophie Cunningham, who is becoming, one of the more recognizable faces in the WNBA. I don't think that's debatable. I don't think it's debatable. Sophie Cunningham, she's a leading figure in the WNBA. She plays a leading role. She might not be the best player. She's an important player, on a contending team. But she's not Caitlin Clark. Indiana Fever have another player that's all-star grade, whose name escapes me, but I'll get it. But Sophie's out there hustling. She's a 3-and-D type of a player, and she's got a good Q rating and so on and forth. So she's a notable WNBA player. Okay. And she took an elbow, which you can see. And, by the way, bro, happy birthday.
Appreciate you.
It's midnight here on the East Coast. Just struck midnight.
I didn't even realize that. It's 12. It's 12. It's 9 o'clock here.
It's only 9 o'clock, so you got a couple more days until your birthday out there. But here it's your birthday, so happy birthday, bro.
Appreciate you, big bro. Thank you.
Happy birthday. Yes, indeed. As we wind down this episode of Sand City, again, folks, we're still here. Very fortunate this episode. My bro's in the building, bringing the knowledge, the takes across the board, specifically with football. Great to have Ryan Rodriguez in the building. Graduated, him and my bro, 06 in high school, coming through the ranks together, giving you the perspective on their playing days, hooping against some of the best players in the country at that time that went on to NBA fame. So really, that's a big deal here on SandCity Sports. So we're it's been a really good episode. We're winding down, but we still going. We still got to get to slice of life. A couple things to get to in slice of life before we wrap it up. But again, we're keeping this to the court and talking about this actual foul and why the referees got the call right. Okay. Now, yes, Sophie got bowled. We don't like to see that, right? That's why in my refereeing and then in the coaching that I do, working with players, predominantly in practice situation. Obviously, if you're coaching, you're in practice. What am I trying to say? Filling in. I'm not a coach of a team, but I'll come in and help out if they need a hand or they need a referee for a game. And when guys get fouls, if they're receptive to hearing it, high school, I understand. You're going through your mango season, your rum springer. You don't want to hear it sometimes. You feel that everybody is your coach. You don't want to hear it. I got that. I'm not going to tell you. You know what I mean? But if you want me to tell you why I called a foul, I will explain it to you, so you can hopefully improve your technique and get less fouls and win more possessions. But if you don't want to hear it, you don't got to hear it. Okay. So the high school kids, sometimes they're receptive, other times they don't want to hear it. I got you. But Sophie Cunningham did foul, and this player, excuse me for the links, I don't have her name. I apologize. But this was a foul before she got bowed. Now, it was a 1-2, right? You know what I mean? You talk about boxers and athletes working milliseconds. It was one foul, and then it wasn't as though the whistle was blown, the play was dead, and then the player came around and clocked her. It was a 1-2. Like she came up, and the player is here, and she goes to shift through, and she's already in that motion. Referee blows the foul, and then she catches a bow. Okay. You see the reaction, on this play. She got fouled. The ref reviewed it, and she got fouled. And this shows that the league has a grudge to grind against Sophie Cunningham. So no, folks. I can understand, but everybody's not a referee. But I've been referenced since 2009, so I can understand that reaction. But I did want to provide the technical breakdown in terms of why the call was right and how the play was adjudicated. So what Sophie Cunningham did, the reason she got a foul, and you can see it here. You're seeing the rip through, but you see her left leg is here, and you can't see the offensive players. That would be her left leg as well, right? Because she's stepping inside the player's stance. She's doing what we call bellying up, right? Now she's reacting because she caught a bow, right? And what you do is you don't lean into the, unless you got a jaw of steel and you're gonna break somebody's elbow, leaning into the bow, right? You swing the other way to lessen the contact. Okay, if it's Iron Man's going to swing the other way, and that's going to hurt somebody's elbow because he's freaking Iron Man. Everybody else, if you don't want to break your jaw, you're swinging the other way because you already took the hit somewhere in here. Your butt, and you move away from it. Okay, and that lightens the contact. So now you already got, you're gonna have a shiner there. You're going to have a bruise, no doubt. Hopefully that there's no structural damage, but you caught an elbow in a sensitive part of your jaw. Not everybody's like Mike Tyson that has a 20-inch neck. Okay? Want to talk about why Mike Tyson was the greatest? Not the greatest, but, the Iron Mike. Shout out to Teddy Atlas. His neck is like 20 inches across. All the stretches and the building it up to take those hits. To fortify. Right? Sophie Cunningham, is Sophie Cunningham. Like the rest of us, not like Mike Tyson. Okay, folks. But why this was a foul before the rip through, as you can see, is because she's bellying up, meaning her left foot is in between the offensive player's left foot, which is out, right? Okay, with this wide stance, it's almost as if they're boxers. Their lead foot is in between the other person's 2 feet. Right? Her lead foot is in between number 22 or 72 stance. So if they were standing next to each other, they would be belly to belly. Hence the term bellying up. In football, you might call this press man coverage. Right? All right, folks. Now, when you defend that way and you're in that person's space, immediately, by rule, you have committed a foul. Because every player has a right to a space on the floor, but provided they get there first and legally. I'll say that again. Every player has a right to a space on the floor, provided they get there first. You have to be the first to get to that space, just like when we're playing a kid's games as a kid. Who gets there first, that's whose space it is. Okay? And legally, meaning you didn't have to shove somebody to get into that space. So that's why I understand the intensity when you're hyped up and stuff like that and you get right in somebody's grill so that, you know, they don't have that step. But you're in that person's space. So if they move that jab step, you know, or just and they can't move because you're right there, by rule, that is a foul. We don't call that foul to begin with because we want to see a game and not a legal proceeding. But that was the foul call here, folks. She was bellying up. There needs to be a space between the offensive player and the defensive player. Because, again, every player has a right to a space on the floor provided they get there first and legally. Now, how the heck did Sophie Cunningham get bowed? Right? When you belly up on somebody and you're essentially nose to nose with them and there's no wiggle room, when they shift their shoulders and then they're, right? You're standing nose to nose. So that's how players catch elbows and whatnot. Because you're bellying up. What you need to do what we call to do it right, you would wall up. You would wall up, not belly up, you'd wall up. Meaning there would be some space. It doesn't have to be great. But there would be some space for that player to get their elbow at least through. And what you would do as a defensive player when you're walling up in your verticality is you would arch your back, like you would arch, your feet are standing there, and then you would arch your back here. So when that rip through comes through, you don't get clocked right in your jaw. That person can step through and there's a space. You would arch your back. Because if you came leaned in right here and you're extra close, what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen. All right? So they called a foul on this play. Then they went to the review booth and they upheld the foul based on those principles. Sophie Cunningham, in her closeout, she closed out and she bellied up rather than closing out and leaving space for that player to step through. That's a foul. Now, I wasn't happy to see Sophie Cunningham or anybody get bowed in the mouth.
Be right back.
Okay? I don't like to see that, folks. In any case, right? The reason that foul was not called is because it was 1-2. That player began the rip through as the referee was blowing the whistle, rather than if the play is here and she's still here and you're bellying up on the shoulder and the referee, boop, boop, I come with my call, 1. Play is dead. Okay? Whistle. Give it a split second. You haven't started your rip through. You can't rip through right now. That play is done. Even though that person is in your space, the play is dead. You don't have a right to rip through when going through that player. That will get you an intentional or possibly a flagrant foul. Because we've called the play and now we have a dead ball situation. There's no reason for you to rip through because you're not going anywhere because the play is dead. So that player is in your space. You're facing this way, you know. You might come back here and, so, but your elbow would be torso length. You'd bring, so if your elbows did bump, it would be elbow to elbow. We wouldn't allow you to come chin up. We wouldn't allow you to come chin up here after we blew the whistle, right? You're standing like this. We got a blocking foul. The player is right there. We blew the whistle. The call is done. You better put your elbows down. You better. Let me say that again. You better put your elbows down. The play is done. That's a dangerous play. We're talking about contact above the neck. You're here. You're ready to rip through. The player bellies up, is right in between, right on your hip, stepping in between your stance. We call it. Play is done. Okay, you can't live your life like this, turn to the side. I know that. We know that as referees. You can't live like this. I got you. Put your elbows down. Put them bows down. Okay? You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing none of this. Put them bows down. No. You ain't throwing no. No. Okay? Unless you want that intentional, that flagrant 1 or 2. Okay? Put him down. You ain't doing no more. Okay? Again, this was not the same. It was boom. I didn't see boom. Stop. Quick. Okay? You got a boom. Right? You got a boom. Come on. Get him. Right? You had a break in the neck. Get my ball. And then you did this. Oh, no. Come on. You might have to. That's it. You might have to. You're afraid that the high school might be wrong. Dangerous. No. You're here. Hold it. You're in your feelings. Put the bows down. No, we ain't doing that. Put them down. Come here. I know they get your face. You have a right to your face. You're leaning over this person all over my big eye. They do my big eye right now. They do my right. I got you. Elbows down. Turn here. That way. No. Okay. That might have to be right. Okay. But do not. That person is right there and you're looking through. Like I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I'm doing. You want an excessive swing of the elbows. It's a rule. Excessive swinging of the elbows. You swing them through, you rip through, but it's excessive and you don't make contact, we can call a violation. You lose possession. Yes. Keyword excessive. We can call a violation. No, it would be here. It would be hand. Hand. Okay? It would be the hand, right? Because it's here if it's a foul, if it's here if it's a violation. So the hand is going up. Okay, I ripped through. I didn't hit anything, but it was excessive. It's a violation. Generally, after a warning, we would warn you not to do it. Okay, usually that's not a first without a warning. You get a warning, and you lose possession. But hopefully not. You actually made contact on your excessive swinging of the elbows, which this wasn't because it was a 1-2 play. But if you did make contact on your excessive swinging of the elbows, which this play would have, had there been that extra split second for that player to stop and not continue through, then we can give you an intentional or flagrant. Intentional is 2 in the ball, flagrant, you got to go. All right. Okay, so I just wanted to break down this play. I saw it. I've seen the feedback, the commentary. No conspiracy against Sophie Cunningham. She has a right to be herself. Other members of it, you have a right to be yourself. All right, that's what a free market. That's what a democracy is. Sophie has her opinions. Other players have their opinions. They have the right. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. All right. Right, they check into work, put the differences aside, they come together for the collective cause. All right, you don't have to like each other, you do need to respect each other. Okay. Clock in. Okay, they clock out, put their gear back on. They're professional athletes, they live the privileged life, get paid to play a child's game. Shout out to the new WNBA CBA, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay. All right. And you manage your money. You manage it yourself, your health, your well-being, your mind, okay, your spirit, right? You manage yourself. And, you live a safe and productive life in society. And we're happy for you. And you deserve it. Right? All right, so that's what we hope for. These players, this league, 30th anniversary next year. I can't wait. All right. We see the players that pulled up for the All-Star game, so on and forth. Guys, Hoopers love the W. Ball players, we've always loved the W. And I'm including myself in that we, even though I'm not an all-time great, a LeBron, a Kobe.
We love the WNBA over here, too.
Hey! You're back.
Yeah, what's up?
All right. I was like, what the heck? I was checking my different screens. Yeah, we love the W. So let's keep it going strong. As I said, 30th anniversary next year. And y'all don't have to all agree on everything all the time. You don't have to. That's not what we're asking for. We're asking for great basketball. A highlighting and a celebration of the women's game. Shout out to Medina Dixon. Okay, Medina Dixon of Cambridge, Rindge, and Latin fame here in the Commonwealth. Okay, National Player of the Year. Same year Patrick Ewing was the National Player of the Year. That's right, folks. Medina Dixon, Patrick Ewing, 2 Players of the Year in the nation at the same high school, Cambridge, Rindge, and Latin. Shout out to, okay. All right. We just gotta I gotta put a right before we get in a slice of life, which we're gonna do. I like to, you know what I'm saying. If I say something, I want people to see. I don't want to just say something. And I know we're winding down, and we're gonna continue. You know what I mean? But so I got to get Medina on the screen. A lot of people know Patrick. But unless you're from the Commonwealth, you might not know Medina, one of our greats. Patrick Ewing wins the 1984 National Championship at Georgetown. Medina Dixon wins the 1984 Women's Championship at Old Dominion. Talk about why we love the W, folks. Why we got love for the W. They went to the same high school, Cambridge, Rindge, and Latin in Boston. 2 players of the year, 2 national champions. All right? Talk about greatness here, folks. So, you understand? We sound like I'm French. Put some respect on the W name. You heard me?
Yeah.
Shout out to Medina Dixon. Shout out to Patrick Ewing. Okay, we got Slice of Life. Slice of Life. Didn't get a chance to discuss. We'll get to it. Kevin Durant's comments relative to, the new super team era. But this is KG in the lab getting ready for the season.
Yeah.
Folks, I remind you, Kevin Durant played 78 games last year.
People keep telling me smile, the bros don't try to shit to adjust to. I just wanna see him boy, babe.
Played 78 games, nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found in the postseason. I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
But looking at another healthy season.
People keep telling me smile, the bros don't try to shit to adjust to. I just wanna see him boy, babe.
Right? Right? All of this core strength work. We didn't think he was going to be durable in his NBA career. Thought he was going to be, Mr. Glass. And we meaning I remember you and your people were big Durant fans. I didn't see it. I was a skeptic. And, I can admit that I was wrong. All right, let's stay with the Summer League theme. Like Jeffrey Jordan playing pickup. 1990. Even though it's pickup, he ain't playing no games. Pickup, he ain't playing no games.
Yeah, Jordan did not like to lose, man.
Even though it's pickup, Michael Jordan ain't playing no games. Right to the post. Get him out of here. Speaking of practice, Ryan talked about that. Hard work. Michael Jordan not playing. One, two, right to the get it. Surgical. We mentioned the embargo league when Ryan was in the building. Experience Hernandez. Wareham fame, Boston Globe All Scholastic. Playing against a inflated image to advance. Shout out to the Embargo League. Played in Onset, also New Bedford. A lot of As I said, a lot of talent on those courts. A lot of Division I talent. On those courts. Currently and from yesteryear. Speaking of talent, here's a name that you guys will be hearing from in the near future on the grassroots circuit. Colton Hiller. Remember the name. Freshman or sophomore?
Whatever happened to that kid from the CAA?
The road to Peach Jam. Couple more. We had Ryan in the building. Shout out to Coach.
More complicated, but just simplify it. We're going into it the same way I won too, okay? We're gonna have spin. So whatever my outside foot is, I'm gonna drop, okay? I'm dropping my outside foot. I'm gonna turn and get faced, and then I'm gonna go forward, right? 1, 2, I drop, I turn and see the hoop, and then I go forward. 1, 2, boom, I drop, I turn and see the hoop. Now I'm stepping through for my finish, okay? Pass, face the hoop, go. Take your time. Boom, drop your left, face the hoop, see the hoop, now turn and go. Boom, half, drop your foot, face the hoop, turn, go. Beautiful. Boom, good job. Boom, Cal got it. Light work, Cal.
Oh no, it's here.
Drop, turn, go.
There.
Half spin,
Go.
half spin, turn, step through. Cal got it.
Shot
Light
fake.
work.
Yep.
It's gonna be a long finish.
1,
Let's go.
2, shot fake. Hey, look.
Drop that foot.
You did everything right, and you got here and spin back.
Go right into the spin.
It's here, half spin,
Turn it.
shot
Make
fake,
it make
and then we'll
sense.
step
See the
through
hoop?
here. Finish with shot fake. Boom. Here, step through.
Hey,
Good,
Coach
good,
Robinson.
good.
Nice.
Coach Robinson in the building.
Big finish. Hey, step pass.
Some free game. Good to see Coach Robinson of CCA fame. Building up. Good program. All right, a couple more. Shout out to the Embargo League. Out there in Onset on the hardwood.
Yeah, I remember that one time we went and played Onset. That first time I played an Onset league, and I had no idea what was going on at Onset. And that dude dunked on Ricky.
We got one more shout out to the Embargo League and then one more.
Yo, that was crazy. You remember the game?
Stop! I want though. I don't need the call though.
My bad.
Stop! I want though. I don't need the call though.
We got good refs. The ball went in the basket. I'm gonna leave it be. Gonna leave that one be. Shout out to the Embargo League championship coming up. We got one more, folks. We saved the best for last. No, we had a lot of quality. The Road to Pete's Jam and some upcoming tournaments. But we're gonna leave the best for last. In my view, I mean, okay, here it is. Right, speaking of women's sports, ESPNW. We're gonna get out here on this one, guys.
Your niece Emma has started kicking soccer balls on there.
Wow. We're gonna watch that again. Amazing. Whole gym had to be silent. Crowd goes wild.
That is a heart puller right there. That's awesome.
Shout out to Zealand Schools. Unified sports teams. It's a beautiful thing. Appreciate it. All right. Turn down the volume a bit. Bro, thanks so much for jumping in. It's a good show. A lot to cover. We got through it. And yeah, man. Say next generation is kicking a soccer ball around.
Yes.
Quick first step.
Man, you should see how fast she is already. It's kind of wild.
Good, man. Good. Got, fresh from the barbershop. Line looks sharp.
Fresh, got a nice cut. Got
Yep.
Gotta be looking good for a birthday.
All right, bro. I will be in touch. Great to see you. Thank you very much for checking in.
Me.
We appreciate you guys, folks. SandCity. Go.